Learn more at tcomn.com.
Your home for all things purple.
Caught! Yes!
FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Time now for Vikings Fan Line on the Minnesota Vikings Radio Network. Your chance to talk about today's game with the Vikings broadcast team. Join the conversation on Vikings Fan Line by calling 800-320-5326 using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app or by sending us a message on the KFAN social channels. Now it's your reaction to all the action. Vikings Fan Line. Here's KFAN's Ron Johnson and Eric Nordquist.
40-3, the final at U.S. Bank Stadium on a Sunday evening. I'm Eric Nordquist, Nordo from 9 to noon. Ron Johnson is with me. Welcome to Vikings Fan Line. 40-3 is the final, and the Vikings were on the wrong side of it. One of the worst home losses in franchise history. It was an absolute disaster from start to finish and generally unwatchable for most of the game. The Vikings fall to 8-2. Cowboys now 7-3. From a seeding perspective, Vikings still mostly in control of the North, not necessarily concerned about that. Still in the second seed in the NFC, but kind of depressed after what we just watched. How you doing, Ron?
Good, it is what it is. Gotta get through it. It is what it is.
Typically, and we've seen it as the 7-game win streak comes to an end. And first of all, as part of Fan Line, 800-320-5326, 1-800-320-5326. You can also utilize the TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Hit that microphone, give us your best 30 seconds, and we'll try to get through this thing together on a Sunday night. But typically, and we saw it through the 7-game win streak, and there's always maybe something you can pinpoint, Ron. You can always say, well, this was a massive moment in the game, something that swayed things one way or the other. And early on, you could say, as we tied the game up 3-3, you're like, man, Hawkinson needs to catch that touchdown pass. Come on, TJ. Bring that thing in, right?
Yep. Could say that, but it doesn't matter.
That didn't have any impact on the game at all.
Nothing to do with the game.
No, we don't get to dig into minutia here. We look at a team that, if there's an award show out there, like let's say the ESPYs, and I don't really watch them, so I don't know if they do this. If they were going to award, hey, this was the greatest regular season game of the 2022 season.
I think they do that.
And then this is the worst regular season game. Vikings might be part of both games.
Yeah. Honestly, it feels like the Eagles' playoff loss after the Minneapolis Miracle. Like, everybody was super high up on them. Come down. Seems like, okay, this could go what? No, it didn't. And so from the Kirk fumble to the T.J. Hockenson drop, selling for a field goal, after that, it was just a butt whooping. Like, it was literally, you saw Micah Parsons impose his will. You saw a defensive backfield that couldn't really figure out who was covering, the tight ends at time. Like, if Schultz catches that other one, that's a touchdown for him. It could have been, 47-3. And then the over would have got paid out because I think it was 48.5. So the only thing good right now for people that bet the under is at least they got their money for the under. But if they put a little bit of money on the Vikings, what was it? They were getting plus 1.5. Yeah, no, you needed plus like 42.5.
Well, anybody, including myself, over the course of the week, kind of the idea of how, given how the season has played out, how could the Vikings be underdogs at home? This just doesn't make sense to me.
Vegas knows,
and I know about Parsons, and I know about this defense, and I know that Tony Pollard is offering up 6 yards a clip, and they got Dak back, and he's going to work his way back into the fold.
Yeah,
I still didn't understand it. Now I do. 800-320-5326. And as we continue to break this thing down, let's hop on the phone lines here again. Talkbacks, much appreciated as well. We'll start with Joel from Matamidi. Welcome to Vikings Fan Line.
Nordo, Ron, how we doing?
Not good, but what
man.
you got?
Yeah, I hear you. I was at the game, and it was tough to watch, surrounded by Cowboys fans, and there really was nothing we could say or do. I don't know. Our offensive line losing Darisaw, getting pushed around. I mean, that was kind of a blueprint on how the Vikings can be taken advantage of, I feel like. And unless we stiffen up front, both offensively and defensively, I think this 8-2 could go to 8-5 real quick.
Hey, appreciate it, Joel. Have a great night. Safe
Hopefully
travels.
you made a safe left turn. I heard that blinker going. 8-5. I don't think so. Like, the Jets did not look good today. The Patriots didn't look good today. Now, maybe those two teams are just both good and they really went after each other. I don't think so. I think on a short week, yeah, Belichick, scary guy. But I just feel like Thanksgiving, they're going to make up for what we just had to suffer through today.
Well, let's focus on kind of the A topic of his call, though, and maybe it doesn't lead to 8-5, but the offensive line was dominated today. So there's two ways to look at it. First of all, just hoping that Christian Darrisaw is fine. He leaves with a concussion in the Buffalo game,
right.
Works his way through all the protocols, leaves again. And I think I saw this somewhere, and someone can tell me if I'm wrong. I thought I saw Kevin O'Connell actually state that they're going to take it, they're going to keep it cool with him, and he's not going to play on Thanksgiving. So you got Blake Brandel in there. Yep. And then I saw Ezra Cleveland leaves, and now you got Austin Schlottman in there. He immediately helps out with a false start. But this Dallas team had 35 sacks through 9 games into this game.
Yeah.
And I think it was 7 or 8 by the time everything was finished. So this team does one thing way better than anybody else, maybe on a historical pace, given now they're at 42, 43 sacks. Our offensive line was dominated from start to finish.
Yeah. So when you talk about the stats, and it's not just that. I mean, when you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, you look at, Parsons. Micah Parsons on film has shown how explosive he is. And somebody tweeted this earlier today to me about why don't the Vikings just keep somebody in the backfield to help? Maybe. I think so. Like, at some point, if CJ Ham is not going to play, let him pass block. Like, just show your cards. Let's make it a 6-man protection, and let's just, release the tight end. Fine. Let CJ Ham be the guy to come up and knock a guy off or help, just scan and figure out and help out. Because if you're putting your running back into the route and Kirk's not even thinking about throwing it to him, you might as well go max protect and then just see what kind of defense you get with Justin Jefferson. But yeah, the offensive line got their butts kicked today. And DeMarcus Lawrence is a man, though. He's a grown-ass man, and so is Micah Parsons, and it was their night.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure it out, though. Is it again? And I reference those stats because that's what Dallas has done so well defensively this season. And it's not just Micah. I mean, he had a lot to do with it, but it's Dorrance Armstrong. You mentioned DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah. They have they're dusting off Dante Fowler, who's with like his 5th team in the last 4 years or something like that. It's coming from everywhere, Ron, and now injuries as they crept up. Heard Ed Ingram's name being mentioned for the wrong reasons a few times today. The offensive line is going to be a popular topic on Fan Line, and that includes Warren, Jeremy, Dave, Chris, and Joe, who are currently on hold. Talkbacks in the hopper as well. Vikings lose 40-3. A 37-point margin. That deficit, I believe, is the 2nd worst home loss in the history of our favorite NFL franchise. That's how bad it was today. Again, from beginning to conclusion, just wanted to get out of there alive. 40-3 is the final. We're doing Fan Line, 800-320-5326, 800-320-5326. Talkbacks with the free iHeart Radio app. Ron Johnson's here. I'm Nordo, and this is Minnesota Vikings football.
At Evans, we know that defense and big stops wins you championships. But when it comes to logistics, moving forward is key. Ben Lieber here for my guys at Evans. If logistics were football, Evans would be an explosive offense, dropping dimes and hitting the gritty. Make Evans your favorite logistics team today. Evans will be your signal caller you can jump on their backs and ride to victory. Get ahead of the competition right now and have a great experience while you're at it. Visit evanstrans.com. Again, evanstrans.com.
All right, who's ready to go to soccer, huh?
Yes!
It started as a normal Saturday, but then...
Oh, no. Sounds like the battery.
That's when their plans took a turn for the worse.
Oh, I knew I should have had the battery checked.
Dad, look at the birds.
Those are vultures!
Don't let a bad battery turn your day into a B-rated horror film. Get your battery checked today. Need a new one? Reach for what works. A battery from FVP. Verified, proven.
With its smart, sustainable solutions, Pentair helps you move water, improve water, and enjoy water for happier, healthier lives. From great tasting water straight from the kitchen faucet to energy-efficient pumping solutions and everywhere in between, we make the most of life's essential resources. Visit Pentair.com to learn more. Pentair, the official sustainable water partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, Vikings fans, you could win a Victor's Ride or a prize pack from Pepsi. Make sure to grab the commemorative Pepsi Vikings Cup when you're cheering on the team at U.S. Bank Stadium. Download the Vikings app, then simply scan your Vikings Cup or select augmented reality in the Vikings app to unlock Vikings photo filters. Share your photo or video using hashtag VikingsGameFace for your chance to win. No purchase necessary. Visit Vikings.com/VikingsGameFace for official rules and details. Sweepstakes ends February 13th, 2023.
Your station for Skull is FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Prescott, who goes on a short drop, looks left, yet to be sacked, flares to the right flat, caught Pollard, steams to the 20-10, touchdown Dallas. 30-yard touchdown. Pollard caught it and went in untouched. Peterson had no chance on that play. And the Dallas Cowboys lead the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings 19-3. Prescott goes back to pass. Fade right. Pollard caught on the run. 40, 30, 20 near the sideline. Touchdown Dallas Cowboys. 69-yard receiving touchdown by Tony Pollard. It's by far the longest of his career. They found single coverage on Jordan Hicks. They liked it, and the Vikings paid for it. 29-3.
Hey, this is Mark from North Dakota. Just pretty disappointed with this loss tonight, but maybe this is kind of something that we needed to bring us back down and really help us to focus on that other teams can do this to us and probably will. So just interested to get your guys' thoughts.
Thank you for that. Again, Talkback feature, free iHeartRadio app. I'm Nordo from 9 to noon. Ron Johnson is with me. And I guess if there's one way to look at this in terms of, okay, it's a short week and, we can talk about all of those and all the cliches included. And Adam Thielen had a couple of comments on it and such. You also heard the head coach with Ben Lieber following the game. But with this new regime in some ways, even with that Monday night loss to Philly, they really haven't had to experience a ton of adversity so far in this season. And we can, and in-game moments, and everything's going the right way. I'm not saying that trying to come back from 10 at Washington, what happened in Buffalo, obviously there are moments of adversity, but ultimately they haven't had to deal with a lot of losses. Just one, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, albeit nearly historical in the ass-kicking that took place today, this is kind of the first chance for this new regime to take a nasty one, have to emotionally deal with it, functionally deal with it, and move forward and be better because of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, PJ Fleck always says failure is growth. So, this is another opportunity for them to grow as a team, grow as a coaching staff.
We didn't have to fail against Iowa to grow yesterday. I mean,
Scott's coming. The axe is coming. The axe is coming.
Damn it.
But, you have to fail. You have to. And I said this in the pregame show this morning on Fox 9 with Mark Rosen, and that was one of the questions he asked. Like, what does this next stretch look like? You look at the Patriots, you got the Jets, you got the Cowboys, and when you look at those games, one, the NFC East is a lot better than people realize now. The Eagles, Cowboys, Giants are all for real. And then you throw the Giants and Colts in this. The Vikings were going to lose at some point. Like they were, like there was no way to go 16-1. And I've continued to say this. I said 12-5 is fine. Like you're still in the playoffs. You still win the NFC North. You're still taking on the chin every once in a while, but you're learning what works, what doesn't work. In this game, honestly, when Dalvin Cook started off kind of early, I felt like this should have been just run the ball. Keep running the ball. Like I felt like Sandra Bullock should have called him on the phone and said, "Run the damn ball, Bert." Like I feel like this was her chance to be a part of the Vikings history. But no, like I just had that moment.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. No, it's a great movie.
Oh yeah. You remember that when she's telling him to run, like he has the biggest offensive line in Michael Orr, and she's like, "Run the dang ball, Bert." Like I felt like that's what, like Dalvin Cook showed early success in the run. Micah Parsons wanted to pin his ears back. And that's at some point you got to say, look, it's second down. If I look up and I see number 11 and he looks like he's coming, I got to change it up, whether I run at him, which is not his strength to stop the run, or run opposite so he can't affect the play. Like you have to be able to check to a run, whether you can it, kill, whatever you want to do. But it's got to be better in-game stuff. And then even the no huddle, when they were going tempo, it started to work. That should have been the start of this game. Tempo, tire these defensive linemen out, see what you get out of it. Like letting them get their stuff set, letting Trayvon Diggs get comfortable. That's not what you want to do. And I mean, people can show the flag and all, or the grab of the shoulder pad of Justin Jefferson, the jersey while the ball's in the air, the grab of the arm. Who gives it? Like that did not affect this game. Normally, I always tweet that crap out, like, oh, the ref screwed him again. None of that mattered. Like that doesn't matter. So it's again, this one they just got punched in the mouth, and now you got to have a plan now. Yeah. It's like playing Mike Tyson. You remember that? You get to the final boss, get your butt whooped. You got to come back. Now you got to remember, okay, I got to do this. I got to come back and do this. I got to move left, jab, right. Like, you got to have a plan now. And the Patriots are going to come in here and want to hit them because they're looking at that offensive line now like, oh, yeah, these guys are soft. All we got to do is hit them.
Well, they have some nice pass rushers out there, too, on Belichick's team. Judon, I think, is just having a killer year.
Yeah, and he does that Mike Pettin, Baltimore Raven, stand-up, kind of controlled chaos-looking defense sometimes where guys are moving around. So these young offensive linemen, I mean, this is a young group. And let's see. I mean, this is what people were nervous about. Belichick on a short week. Who knows how crazy it's going to get Thursday night for him?
To the phone lines, 1-800-320-5326, 800-320-5326. Jeremy in Tremont. Welcome to Vikings Fan Line, sir. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy from Tremont. Just wondering, we didn't make no corrections on offense or defense at the game today. How are we going to go into that going on a short week? I'll hang up and listen to your comments.
Thanks, Jeremy. I don't know what adjustments. I guess, and I'll hand this off to you, Ron. From an offensive perspective, we didn't have the ball long enough to really jump in. And once they got the ball to start the third, and it was the 68, 69-yarder to Pollard.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the knockout punch. It was over in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, here's the adjustments. Catch the ball. Like TJ Hawkinson, you catch the ball. You had two opportunities.
You didn't have a great game today.
Didn't have a good game at all. Like, catch the ball. I don't know if it's – and again, you can't say the fat cats get slaughtered, people reading their own headlines, the national media. But the minute the national media start picking up on this and every single outlet was talking about Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kyle Brandt did a whole, opening monologue, 7-minute long monologue about Kirk Cousins and how they're so much alike and the dad life and he's grilling in his garage, grabbing a root beer, talking about going to Applebee's. I mean, just way too much focus on the Vikings. And I was like, this is what Minnesota sports is about. I mean, it's one of those where
we just got to hide in the cave somewhere.
Yeah, just wait to the end. Just wait to the very end. And then just like any other sniper, you take your shot when you're ready. Now everybody knows, you went from the hunter with a new head coach to the hunted. And now everybody's coming after you because they, and don't think that because J. Ron Kerr's got his little sack and did the skull chant. Guys are waiting now because they know everybody's talking about Kirk Cousins and the shirt off and the chain and all this other stuff. So they are looking forward to this. I don't think
you're a target.
And again, sacking Kirk Cousins in the past, I don't think anybody cared that much. Getting after the Vikings like that, now it matters. It's this team's good. Let's go in here and punch them in the mouth, show them we're better, we're bigger, we're stronger. And now, the Eagles and the Cowboys, both in the NFC East, are saying, look, the Vikings are soft. We beat them down. They're soft. And the Vikings can't say anything back right now. The only thing you could do is come back and fight.
You can't argue that tonight. Yeah. No, you cannot. That's Ron Johnson. I'm Nordo. It's Vikings Fan Line, 800-320-5326, 1-800-320-5326. The Vikings lose 40-3 at the hands of the visiting Dallas Cowboys at U.S. Bank Stadium. Fans started trickling out a little bit early in this one. We want your opinions on it. Got Joe, Warren, Saul, Jared, Dave, Chris, bunch of talkbacks in the hopper, highlights to come or lowlights, depending upon your opinion of it. And we'll continue to take your calls. It's Vikings Fan Line. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
Going to the store, hon. Want to drive?
You're letting me drive your Chevy Equinox, but you're so overprotective.
Me?
You hired a pro wrestler to babysit me when I was little.
Ex-pro wrestler.
And you're letting me drive?
Let's go.
The 2022 Chevy Equinox with standard Chevy Safety Assist because everyone could use more peace of mind. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Chevy Safety Assist includes automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assistant, lane departure warning, forward collision alert, and telebeam and follow distance indicator. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Hey fans, Pilot Games has teamed up with the Minnesota Vikings to create the Vikings Victory electronic pull tab game. Play in more than 1,700 bars across the state and win up to $1,500 in the Skull bonus game. Pilot Games is the largest charitable gaming provider in the state When you play Vikings Victory, your community wins. Play Vikings Victory today, anywhere Pilot's electronic pull tabs are offered. Visit pilotgames.com for more information.
Nothing beats being in the stands for live Minnesota Vikings football. From those nail-biting passes to pivotal plays to the game-winning touchdowns. You can be there for all the action this season. As the official ticket marketplace of the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of seats so you never miss a game. Score tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Minnesota Vikings. Get your tickets today. That's Ticketmaster.com/Minnesota Vikings.
Commemorate the new era of Vikings football with the 2022 official Minnesota Vikings yearbook on sale now. Go behind the scenes for the hiring of General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and head coach Kevin O'Connell and take a deeper look at the team's approach to college scouting, free agency, and the draft. Retrace some of the best moments in team history and celebrate Minnesota reaching 500 regular season victories as Vikings legends from Fran Tarkenton and Bud Grant to John Randall and Chris Carter explain their favorite wins. Purchase a copy at Vikings locker room store locations or order online at shop.vikings.com.
We are rubes like you, and we talk Vikings football every day, too. Join us weekdays 9 to noon. Now back to Vikings football. Empty backfield, 3rd and 3, first drive of the game. 3 receivers right. Cousins takes the snap, looks left. Now he rushes out to the right. Parsons has him, and it's a strip sack. Micah assaulted Kirk from behind, knocked it out, and the Dallas Cowboys have turned over the Vikings to begin this Sunday.
Hey, how's it going? Noah from Maui, originally from Mankato. Got to say, terrible loss, but I'm going to stay more on the optimistic side here. I think both Super Bowl teams last year were both pretty discredited in the Bengals and the Rams. I think this loss kind of puts us in that category. Going into the playoffs, guaranteed a playoff spot. And, we can be one of those teams that can make a run. I mean, a loss like this is terrible, but, it all matters about the playoffs. Your thoughts? Thanks, guys.
Well, first, my thoughts are from Mankato to Maui, that's one hell of an upgrade. That's coming from a Mankato native. Love that. And, yes, I can appreciate the optimism. Many cannot at this particular point, but I like that. And it goes into the conversation and what Ron was saying last segment. Kind of the idea is now we're the target. And if we can bring that level down, come back in with some humility, handle business.
Yeah. And I think Adam Thielen said it the best, too, though. Like, they needed that. Like, yeah, we
needed a kick in the face.
Yeah, we got our butts whooped, and now we have to get back. And it's a good thing. You still have Justin Jefferson. You still have Dalvin Cook. You still got Kirk Cousins. And you still have Adam Thielen. Like, that's on that offense, like, you can create. And you still have TJ Hockenson, yeah. Nobody's going to catch every single ball. So if you look at, like, Justin Jefferson has, 100 targets? He only has 69, or coming into this game, he had 100 targets and 69 catches. You're not going to catch everything. So with TJ Hockenson, he's going to watch that. He's going to think about that. He's going to, that's going to piss him off all night. And then hopefully that, coming up against the Patriots game, you're going to see, like, they rated him as, like, the best tight end in the NFC North. So, yeah, we're going to see it. But a short week, Kevin O'Connell's going to have to figure out what this game plan is. Like, what are we? Are you, that's what he has to say to himself. What are we? Are we a smash mouth team? Or am I a cutesy pass, then run? But a loss like this, you got to go back into the lab now. Like, you can't sit up and think, we're just going to run through the Patriots. Now you second-guess yourself a little bit, which is okay. It's okay to do that. You need to do that. You need to second-guess that. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
That's Ron Johnson. I'm Eric Nordquist. Nordo from 9 to noon, 800-320-5326, 800-320-5326. I can't talk, apparently. Here's Saul in Blaine. Welcome to Vikings Fan Line.
Hey guys, how we doing tonight?
Good, man. Thanks.
That was quite the ass kicking. But I guess, like Ron said, try to take any positives out of this is that the game was out of hand pretty early. Thankfully, we didn't lose like Cook or Jefferson or Cousins or sucks that Darisaw went out. We saw what resulted in that. Cousins getting sacked 7 times. But that was tough. But to my point, it just kind of shows, our defense has kind of been a little leaky. We are missing Tomlinson, our nose tackle. And I was just curious what your guys' thoughts were. I saw the Eagles, they picked up our boy Linval, and they got Sue. And I don't know whether Cap cap space was like, but would have been nice to maybe, just in case this is like a lingering thing with Tomlinson. He has been kind of nicked up. I just kind of wanted your thoughts, but yeah, it is showing that, it felt like today that the Cowboys could pretty much do whatever they want. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, there was gassing us. They did whatever they wanted, but we did look pretty weak up the middle. Not a lot of pass rush, but just your thoughts if like a Sue or Linval Joseph, or if there was some guys out there that we could have got. But you guys have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Missing Dalvin Tomlinson. Well, this is his 3rd game now?
Yeah.
Is that accurate, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 3rd game out, and I thought at least for parts of the first 2 games, you had moments where Bullard was stepping up, Kairos Tonga, and all of that. Today was glaring. And I would say the unique way that Ezekiel Elliott runs the ball, the way that they use Tony Pollard kind of plays into this as well. But yes, Dalvin Tomlinson, somebody you want back. You need him healthy and hopefully sooner than not.
Especially against a guy like Zach Martin. He's one of the best guards in the NFL. You look at the guy they picked up in the draft too, Tyler Smith, another young, really good offensive lineman. Like, this Dallas Cowboys team is not, the Emmitt Smith days, but it's up there. Like, these guys run the ball well. Like, they run the ball hard. And again, the element of this offense, and that has nothing to do with the 40, it's part of it. Dak moves well, like in the pocket. And then if he's just going to run, like that one run he had where he kind of faked the handoff and then, rolled out left, that was a PRO. It was a pass run option. He was going to pass it. Everybody was in man. All backs were to him. So he's like, I'm gone. Like, I'm pretty sure that he's taught that. If their backs are to you and it's a man look, they're running routes. Nobody knows you're, EK had went in with the fake. Just take off. Go get what you can get. And I think that's where, these mobile quarterbacks give you another element. That's why, thank goodness it's not going to matter. But like Justin Fields down the stretch and some of these other quarterbacks that run, it's tough. Like, they did a good job against Kyler Murray, but if you're not prepared, I don't think they were prepared for what Dak can do with his legs. But again, that did not hurt them. Like, it was 100%
him moving
Tony
in the
Pollard.
pocket is one thing. And you mentioned he had 3 runs for 16 yards.
Right.
And he got 11 of them on that one. I think
yep.
it was a 3rd down maybe.
Correct, yep.
And I remember that play, and it's just like, my God, what else can
it was
go
like a
wrong
zone
for us?
read PRO.
But Dak, more so than a lot of guys that have that prototypical run ability, he's in there to throw it.
Right.
But he didn't need to do much of either today.
No, but Tony Pollard was unaccounted for. Like, he had some deep passes too. Like, that's why I don't understand.
Did future HOF just take the worst angle on that? I don't know how, because he was following, I think, a guy near the boundary.
Yep.
On his first of the 2 receiving
I think
touchdowns.
second guess how fast Pollard was.
And I think he just kind of slow rolled it. And he's like, oh my God, this guy's going to turn the corner.
And when you see so many other guys in front of you, though, you assume, and you never should, but you assume like, oh, they're going to push him out of bounds or he's going to go. And Pollard kind of like caught it, slowly went, and then just took off. Like, oh wait, there's nobody in front of me, and the guy down the field is getting blocked. So yeah, I think he missed time. He misjudged his speed. But and again, I bring this up when we talk about how the Cowboys did it. When you look at Dak Prescott's play action, his play action is not play action and sit in one spot. It's moving the pocket. So even when those guys were coming, well, again, Z just totally missed the tackle, or whatever. He broke out the tackle. But those other ones, he was moving. It was like, hey, if they're going to come here because they're going to crash down on the running back, I'm not going to sit back here so they can say, oh, it's a fake, and then I'm going to run straight. Because a lot of Kirk's sacks, Kirk was just standing there. Like, he was a statue. And that he has not done that in 9 games. He had not been a statue in 9 games. So who knows? Could be exhaustion. Who knows what?
Well, I thought he started to question who was coming at him, like happy feet style. Like he was uncomfortable. It was almost like he was just waiting for it to happen.
But when you know a team is that good and that, like you said, 35, they're right behind. I forgot they're second, though. I know that. They're right behind somebody else in sacks, and now they're ahead of, Patriots. Patriots had 36. So, now they get 7 tonight. So now 42 sacks. You can't just sit back and think you have time. Like, you got to run some underneath crossers. You got to get Justin Jefferson quicker and see, like, if they're going to give Justin Jefferson man, what's my other options backside? Like, KJ Osborne, like, didn't use him. And again, I bring up the max protection. If you have a guy like Adam Thielen and TJ Hockenson and Justin Jefferson, those 3, you're going to put those guys in the routes. Go max protect. Use 6 or 7 guys. Bring a guy like CJ Ham where you can go 2 back, CJ becomes a battering ram to just knock one of those guys rushing out, and then he can fake, help with the fake scan. Dalvin picks up the other side. Now you got two guys back there scanning those guys, and then just, create some good routes with three receivers. Like, there are a lot of routes, combinations, high, low. You got to have a deep, and then you got to have two shot, one intermediate, one short. But there's a lot of routes, and I know Kevin O'Connell has it because we've seen the Rams do it.
And you're moving Kirk.
And you're moving Kirk. I just don't, like I said, I just don't feel like that was thought through. Like, the way those guys rush, I'm not going to sit back there with five guys. Like, they're too good. You got to just go bang some heads and max protect. Or let Dalvin do that with C.J. Ham in there, and then run the screen. Like, let them bang into some people, let them come, and then run a screen. Like, it just, a lot of that stuff wasn't there. Tight end middle screen. We saw Iowa do that, against the Gophers. Still that. Iowa was waiting for that. Like, the Gophers are not paying attention to our tight ends. You got an Iowa tight end in T.J. Hawkinson. He grew up doing that stuff in Iowa. Run the screen with them. But set it up. Don't just do it. But yeah, that's a different story. There's a lot of stuff could have been done. But hey, 40-3, got to move on.
Got to move on. Dave in Tennessee, welcome to Vikings Fan Line.
Hey, guys. You can probably hear it in my voice. I really was hoping this was going to be a different year, different situation. Going back to what Ron said, you can't play into their hands. We were real critical during the Zimmer administration towards the end, right, about running the ball to pass too much, being too predictable. But when you've got two backs like we have, the third back's not being utilized at all. I really don't understand that with the way he can stretch the field, maybe in the screen game. But the bottom line is that we need to be able to run the ball better and be able to use our strengths that we have. And if it does mean max protect, Ron, I totally agree. But he's so stuck on this concept of 21 personnel. I just don't know if they're willing to come off of that. But, I think he's done a pretty good job so far. I'm not going to be too critical here, but I think you have to realize after this game, what you put on tape is now going to be copycatted, and you got the best there is coming in this week. So I think you better get into some six-man protections, and you better do some more things to protect your situational football. And like you said, unfortunately, there's not a lot of speed on the field, crossing routes and things of that nature. And so, if it was me, I know I'm going to throw this out there, but if it was me, I realize that Thielen's time's almost done. KJ's a good 3. He's not a 2. You go out and do what Philadelphia this week, and you answered him back, and you get Odell Beckham Jr. in here. And in that way, you've got more danger out there lurking to where you can run the ball even more. So just my thought process on it, guys. And I'm just really frustrated, and we'll see where we go from here. So.
Appreciate it, Dave. And to his point about KOC being stuck on something, or your thoughts in terms of changing protections or changing even formation to keep Kirk upright. I don't know. I don't think he can be stuck on anything, right? He hasn't called enough plays, and as fun as this 8-1 and now 8-2 stretch has been, we'd have to acknowledge that the offense hasn't even truly ran on all cylinders for 4 quarters in one game yet. Yeah. And so I hope he's open to all of these things. I hope he's open to figuring out, and maybe it's not even into the Patriots game, but maybe it's after the game on Thursday and this mini bye that he'll have over the weekend, start to conceptualize some various things, maybe just a few pages in the playbook that don't get much attention. Maybe they get peeked at and make the adjustments as necessary. Because now, with a game like this isn't even just a kick in the face like Adam Thielen referred to it as. I mean, this is a TNT dynamite explosion in your face, a disastrous home loss. And obviously, the Cowboys had figured out something, and they exploited it to the max, and we didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, I mean, because we talked about the tight end, going 2 tight ends. If TJ Hawkinson's going to be your release tight end, and you look at, Irv Smith is out, and now, you're trying to figure out who's your next option as far as max protection. If you want to send Hawkinson out, that's what I said. You can replace Hawkinson by just putting C.J. Ham in the backfield and letting him go to that spot. But
you
now,
just want more snaps for CJ.
I do, but I'm talking about from a blocking perspective, and also then it frees up some of this because like when you bring them in for like short yards goal line, you're limited in the plays because you don't use them enough. So now it's kind of like, well, I can't just bring them in when I know I want to use them for a play. But now if you have other plays to use them, you don't know what's coming because now he's been in there blocking 6-7 times this game. He's been at tight end, one by one off the tight end a couple times. He's, you can run outside zone or toss with CJ Ham standing next to the tight end, 1 yard off the tight end, and just run the ball down their damn throat. Like you have some of the biggest, strongest, like Christian Darrisaw. Let them go forward a lot until they're tired. Like you have to beat people up sometimes. And that's why a lot of people always, not say hate, but that's why people always argue about these pass defense. That's why the whole Rams, they're never going to win. They pass too much. And they just happen to go up another passing team in the Bengals. So it worked out. But everybody was saying the 49ers were going to be that team. They just, I don't know what, they just couldn't get there. But with their running game and the Packers, same thing. Like that was the whole little floor. Like, I'm not drafting you another receiver. Aaron, shut up. I got to get you a running back. I know what's going to win in the playoffs. So, we'll see. The Rams have done it, but like at 8-2, so you can't get too down on them. You can't say it's like, let's see what this is going to look like. Again, you got the Patriots coming up. Kevin O'Connell is a rookie head coach, so we have to keep like he's had such a good start. You don't feel like, you don't want to give him the rookie thing. You want to, like he's great. Like he doesn't need to learn. He knows it all, but he's learning. He's even said it. I'm learning as I go.
Definitely.
So
that's Ron Johnson. I'm Nordo. It's Vikings Fan Line. Vikings lose 40-3. They fall to 8-2 in the season. The 7-game win streak comes to an end, and not a lot of time to dwell on it because Thanksgiving Eve, it's a prime timer. Patriots and Belichick in town. They needed a bit of luck to get off the field with a win. Hell yeah. They'll be here Thursday night at U.S. Bank Stadium. We'll get into that, but continue to look back at this one. 800-320-5326 is the phone number, 800-320-5326. Talkbacks via the free iHeartRadio app. Hit that microphone. You can chime in as well. We'll continue around the corner. It's Vikings Fan Line, KFAN, and the Minnesota Vikings Radio Network.
Hello, Randy Meyer here from Fox 9 News. Take a look around and think for just a minute how much of your day is spent handling something, really anything, made of plastic. It's a big part of our daily lives and an environmental nightmare. But how do we solve it? Tonight on Fox 9 News at 9, we look at the good, the bad, and the future of plastics. That's tonight on Fox 9 News at 9.
Hey, Vikings fans, when you stay at Omni Viking Lakes, you stay at the official hotel of your favorite team. We built this place just for real fans like yourself, even putting it right next to the practice facility. Walk in the hotel, and it's like walking into Vikings heaven. You've dreamt of a place like this, and now you can dream in a place like this. Score! So, Vikings fans, when you're looking for a place to stay in the game at Omni Viking Lakes, the official hotel of the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, so listen up. Quick Trip is teaming up with your Northland Ford dealers to give away a new Ford F-150 to one of you lucky Vikings fans and the opening drive sweepstakes. Just fuel up at Quick Trip with any of our fully guaranteed gasolines, use your Quick Rewards card, and you're entered. Weekly winners win a $10 gas card for every yard returned on the Vikings opening drive and a shot at winning a Ford F-150. Hey, Vikings score on that opening drive, it's an extra $500 for you. See QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes for details, and see you next time.
Deliver legendary experiences with Minnesota Vikings Premium Suites. Use Vikings Game Day as an opportunity to connect with top clients, reward your loyal employees, or make new memories with your friends and family at the biggest sporting event in Minnesota from the comfort of your own private suite at U.S. Bank Stadium. For more information, visit Vikings.com/premium or email suites@vikings.nfl.net.
Your home for all things purple.
Oh, he's hit and he's sacked.
FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Prescott rolls out to the right, eyes down the field. 9 seconds to go in the first half. Throws to the right, and it is caught. It's spectacular. Holy cow, C.D. Lamb. Are you kidding me? At the 42-yard line with his toes barely away from the sideline, and he went to toe tapping the sideline, kept both feet in, made a beautiful two-handed catch, 60-yard try, right hash. Snap spot. Maher, more leg this time. And it's good. Don't let this game come down to Brett Maher, man. He's going Matt Prater on the day. Just hit a 60-yard field goal.
How about that, Ron? We asked for video review. The video review we did not get during the Gabriel Davis catch as the Bills were trying to tie things up in overtime. They gave us the video review, and then they just let the catch stand.
And you can see the ball hit the ground.
And actually, and I'll say this, because I don't think it was a catch. So I'm annoyed by that entire thing.
Yeah.
What also annoys me is it took them until after the Cowboys had called a timeout.
Yep.
Timeout's over with. Maher from 60. Ball is snapped, ball is kicked, field goal is good. Players are leaving. Why did it take you that long to decide whether or not you were even going to review it?
Right.
If I'm McCarthy, I'm apoplectic about it because in the end, you still give me the yardage. You force me to ask my kicker to go back out there and hit a 60-yarder. Right. He hits it. He was nails.
Twice. Yes.
I wish our guy was nails from 50+.
He was 100% today, though.
Yes, he was. Well, you didn't have to try anything from 50+. It's Vikings fan line, and it's just the CeeDee Lamb thing, just one of about 50 things that all came together in a goulash of a 40-3 beatdown at the hands of the Dallas Cowboys. Vikings now 8-2. Final segment here as part of the Greater Vikings Radio Network. You'll still afterwards. We're still going for a while here, so you can continue to listen via the free iHeartRadio app or on our flagship 100.3 FM, The Fan, here in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Let's jump on some calls here. 800-320-5326, 800-320-5326. Let's do, how about Riley in Worthington? Welcome to Vikings Fan Line.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me. 40-3. I mean, like you were saying before, it's good to have a loss, but 40-3 loss is pretty tough. So do you think there's worse things than what we thought we had? I mean, when you take a loss like that, you got to kind of sit back and think about everything that we did wrong. Couple injuries, I guess. Booth Jr., I thought he did pretty bad. And I think same with Blake Brandel. Those two guys are coming in to fill in, and you get injuries, that happens. But they got targeted pretty much the whole game when we were still in it, I guess. And what are you going to do to stay competitive with those guys filling in for injuries? I saw Darisaw was already ruled out for Thursday. And so what are you going to do to kind of change that so we're not always getting those targeted people on the players that are, filling in for those spots? So that's just kind of what I have to say, and ready for another game on Thursday, and hopefully we can get a better game against Belichick. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, Riley. Yeah, the Andrew Booth thing's not working, Ron. Right. I mean, and the stunted growth that took place with the injuries during training camp, that's part of it. But now he's been healthy for more than a month and a half. He's going to the practices. He's getting the snaps on special teams, and it is just a brutal baptism by fire. We need a Caleb Evans back from his concussion, like this defense needs air to breathe, as one might say, huh?
Yeah, and maybe Caleb Evans will be back. He has a clear protocol as well. Like Kevin O'Connell said, he's never going to put a player out there at risk of his own health.
Which is good.
Which is really good, because that wasn't the way it was back when I played. I mean, I know guys that got knocked out, said the wrong name, and then they came back like a quarter later. Like, oh, you're fine. You finally forgot your name now. You know what date it is. You know what stadium you're in, and you can get back in there. But no, I've literally seen guys say they're Batman, and then all of a sudden they're like, yep, you're back in. So Kevin O'Connell's being, he's being real cautious because it's, again, when you're 8-2, and I don't think the record matters, but when you're 8-2, you don't need to get guys out there at risk of long-term injury. This is a situation where you start off really well, like say your grades in school, you start off really well. You can kind of slack off a little bit. You can have a couple falls here and there. And, I mean, they just, like I said, 12-5. Like at this point, you just want to be 12-5. You want to try to at least get one home game. And then, hey, if you got to go to Philly or Dallas or wherever, it is what it is. But at this point now, they have to find a way to get healthy, because that's the key. Because like you said, filling in for those guys like Andrew Booth. And there's the key about Andrew Booth. We could say, hey, let's put Patrick Peterson on the best guy. the catches didn't even come from CeeDee Lamb. It was from other guys. So who knows? I mean, unless somebody gets Andrew Booth in the presser this week or is able to talk to him and just say, hey, what's going on? Where the coverage is confusing. Was it did Dak have longer to throw than you thought he was going to have and you took a chance? You won't see it to the all-22.
One more call here. Jared from Indiana. Welcome to Vikings Fan Line.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I just want to start off and say, Skol Vikings, tough loss here at home, but kind of got to try and look forward as much as we can. But kind of got sniped a little bit. Like a caller head, kind of was focused on Booth for sure. Kind of looked kind of getting burnt quite a bit. But what do you guys kind of think about the beginning of the game? It kind of seemed like Kirk had a lot of time. He had time to pass. He was sat in the pocket and kind of like you guys said, stood like a statue. I mean, what do you think we can O'Connell can draw up to kind of get us on the field more? I mean, the time possession was kind of pitiful. We have our total yards are less than their complete rushing yards for the game. It's not working. Whatever that was.
Well, I appreciate you calling in.
Quick game. It's got to be quick.
Yeah, quick game. So tempo. Now we've seen that in some spots, and it's jump started things. Now the killer for me, Ron, if you remember that 14-play drive, second quarter, It was nearly 8 minutes long, and we held them to a field goal. So we like that part.
Yep.
We followed it up with an incomplete. That pass, it just wasn't Hawkinson's day today. I mean, he's got to fight the route for more space in the boundary. That long pass he was out of bounds on.
Yeah.
That was the 1st and 10 play. Madison for 3, and then we had a batted pass down on 3rd and 7. We go 3 and out. After they hit us with an 8-yard drive, they come back 2 plays later. They get the long touchdown, and it was on from there. But something still isn't completely clicking with this offense, and there's something functionally in schematics where I don't know if it's Kirk still learning things. Is it still a verbiage thing? Our receivers completely in the right spots. There are times in which we pull the strings and every right string is pulled and it looks fantastic. Then we go through these long lulls, and at least in the first half, before things were officially completely out of control and haywire, we just weren't able to string anything together to actually keep our offensive on the field and find any momentum whatsoever.
Yeah, and coming into this game, though, the Vikings had been in 3rd and 7 to 11 53 times. That is the most in the NFL and of every team. So when you think about 3rd and 7 to 11, you got to find ways to be in 3rd and 3. Well, then what happens today in 3rd and 3? They were predictable. He just came after Kirk. He's like, you're not going to run the ball. Kirk's not going to run and try to get a first down. You don't have an RPO situation over here. So the predictability, now 9 games in, coaches are able to watch. Because I think early on, you couldn't watch film on Kevin O'Connell because you didn't know what you were, you don't know what you're looking at. He has no trends. There's no trend early. Well, now they can kind of see where he's trending. On 3rd and 7, 3rd and 11, here's what Kirk wants to do. Here's the opportunities. Turnovers. I think they were right behind. Yeah, they were 5.7% of 3rd and 7s were turnovers. That's 27. So, and today, fumble, Kirk strip sack. He added another one to it. 3rd and 19, 3rd and 23. You can't, come on. That's when you run draw and then everybody boos you because you didn't try to get the first down. And then when he actually tried on 3rd and 17, he gets sacked. And then it's 3rd and 29, or 4th and 29. It's just, I don't know. There's no answer for what.
The whole thing was awful.
Yeah, it was just awful.
The whole thing was awful.
I really don't have an answer for it. I just know you got to get more manageable 3rd downs, but then you got to have a better, you got to have different plays. We've seen a lot of these now. Do some stuff we haven't seen.
Today we needed to focus on the run.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it. And that's part of the issue.
41 yards early. He had 41 yards to start the game. He ended up with 11 carries.
Ooh. That doesn't bode well for this Vikings offense. It didn't today, at least. 40-3 is the final. At this point, we're going to let the Fan Radio Network, or I should say the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network, go to bed for the evening, and you're going to catch up with us around 5 or 5:30 on Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving Day affair. Vikings hosting the New England Patriots, the prime timer on Turkey Day, and Vikings looking to go 9-2 by the time we all go to bed and give thanks to end the holiday. Thanks so much to those. And for those of you on hold, by the way, In about 4 minutes, we're going to be right back with more conversation. We will get to your calls on the flagship 100.3 FM The Fan, as well as the free iHeartRadio app. Talkback still in play as well. But for Ron Johnson, I'm Eric Nordquist. We'll talk again on Thanksgiving. In the meantime, all recaps starting at 5:30 a.m. with the Power Trip Morning Show into a sad montage 9 to noon and beyond. You've been listening to Vikings Fan Line on KFAN and the Minnesota Vikings Radio Network.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey with my buddy Ian Youngstead. At Youngstead's, there are awesome Black Friday deals, aren't there?
Yeah, Hockey. Right now, you can save up to $200 in manufacturer rebates on select sets of Ford tires.
And right now, until the end of November, you will get a $100 Youngstead's promotional gift card with the purchase of any set of Ford tires. So that's a savings of up to like $300.
Yeah, and through the end of the month, you can buy 1 month of an unlimited car wash membership and get 1 month free at any of our 3 car washes in Chanhassen, Excelsior, and Maple Grove.
Check it out at youngsteds.com. What's the saying?
Our family taking care of your family since 1971.
Brianna is a 24-year member of LIUNA, the Construction Laborers Union.
I am proud to be part of a growing number of women in the union construction trades. I've learned that the work is more about effort and commitment than physical strength. I do all things men do, including working with the 90-pound jackhammer on demolition projects. Being a part of LIUNA has helped me earn great pay and benefits, including a pension and health coverage. I also get free training that has helped me work in every market sector out there, from roads to public buildings to energy. With LIUNA, we're building a better Minnesota.
Visit buildthenorth.org.
I've always loved bird calling. My grandpa and I, chirp, chirp, chirp. But when I took over the pet store, tweet, tweet, I didn't have the time until I met Justin from Choice Bank. He set me up with cash management processes and employee benefits that saved me money and time. So much time. People call me Phyllis the cuckoo bird woman. They're so funny.
Choice Bank. We're committed to your business, your success, and to you. It's what we mean by people first banking. Go to bankwithchoice.com. Choice Bank is member FDIC.
Hey, honey, we're going to the store. Want to drive?
You're letting me drive your Chevy Equinox?
Sure. Why wouldn't I?
Well, aren't you a little overprotective?
No.
Mom, you hired a pro wrestler to babysit me when I was little.
Ex-pro wrestler.
And you made me wear a helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, and eye goggles when I learned how to ride a bike.
Yeah, I did.
Do I need to remind you what happened when I went to the homecoming dance with my friends?
That's probably best left unsaid. Besides, it was my turn to chaperone.
And you're going to let me drive?
Come on, let's go.
The 2022 Chevy Equinox comes standard with 6 active safety features like automatic emergency braking and forward collision alert, because everyone could use more peace of mind. Chevy Equinox with standard Chevy Safety Assist. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Chevy Safety Assist includes automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, forward collision alert, and telebeam and following distance indicator. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Football season means tailgating, touchdowns, and cheering for your favorite team. In Minnesota, there are nearly 100 local credit unions with over 300 branches for you to team up with to take your money further. Credit unions stand for community and trust. They keep any profits local and provide members better savings rates. Your teammates own a credit union, and that means you're all working for the same goals. More transparency, more trust will give you more personal financial wins. Visit MinnesotaCreditUnions.org to find your local credit union to take your money further.
In Minnesota, winning is everything. And on the road, that means Honda, America's most fuel-efficient, full-line automaker. And this year, Honda's made some exciting new lineup changes, starting with the all-new Honda HR-V. And coming soon, even more redesigned Honda SUVs. So don't wait. For attractive financing on Honda's all-star lineup, see your Greater Twin Cities Honda dealer to reserve or buy your Honda today. Based on EPA estimate of model year 2020 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy. 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
Hey, Minnesota fans, it's Paul Allen. Know what the legendary Purple People Eaters and TimberTech decking have in common? A dominating defense. TimberTech has the durability to hold up against Minnesota weather for decades. Not only will it not rot, warp, or splinter like conventional wood, but it looks more like real wood than any other composite brand. And with up to a 50-year warranty, you're protected season after season. Order free samples at TimberTech.com to see the boards for yourself. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
Your home for all things purple.
Always hit and he's sacked.
FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Fan Line on iHeartRadio and The Fan are presented by our broadcast partners. Minnesota Credit Union Network, Youngsteds, Carboni's Pizzeria, and by your local Chevy dealers. Join the conversation on Vikings Fan Line by calling 800-320-5326 using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app or by sending us a message on the KFAN social channels. Now, continuing to take your calls, talkbacks, and social message, this is Vikings Fan Line with Ron Johnson and KFAN's Eric Nordquist.
40-3, the final. The Minnesota Vikings just beaten, battered, bludgeoned, whatever, dominated. I don't know. Whatever adjective you want to use, sliding to the negative, you can use it. 40-3, the final. The Dallas Cowboys improved to 7-3. The Vikings fall to 8-2. 7-game win streak dead. But you know what? Turkey Day's a good day to start a new streak, right, Ron? That's Ron Johnson's here. I'm Nordo from 9 to noon.
I don't know what that streak is, but
let's hope it's just win a game. Okay, let's just keep it simple. There we go. Vikings Fan Line 800-320-5326. 800-320-5326 are the numbers. A few more segments here via 100.3 FM The Fan and the free iHeartRadio app. Responding to this Vikings loss today. A lot to dig into, or not a lot to dig into, depending upon how you look at it. It was not a dramatic loss. It was not a down to the wire. Can't pinpoint one reason that the Vikings lost. Everything went bad. Everything was terrible early, and it never got better.
Yep.
So let's go to Chris from Owatonna. Welcome to Vikings Fan Line.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Doing well, Chris. Thanks for calling in. What are your thoughts?
Hey, so actually a lot of it got covered. So quick point of order, just because I don't follow this stuff too closely. Was Ed Donatel the defensive coordinator during Mark McCarthy's reign with the Packers?
I think he had already left. I can check and see if there is an overlap by any chance. I think it was 2000 to 2006-ish, maybe.
I suppose it doesn't play in too much to it. I guess in my mind, it was an unacceptable game. I kind of had my old meat sauce feeling. As soon as the other team scored a touchdown, I had that old feeling from last season where it's like, well, they've scored. It's done. But I joined Team Mom, where I fully believe in this team still. I just think this was an example of a coach who's been in the league for decades against a coach who's been in the league for exactly 1 year. A lot of mistakes, to be sure. Things that need to be cleaned up, obviously. The swing from Fat Cats Get Slaughtered to walk through practice on Tuesday probably was too far to calm a team down from a big win. But I think KOC is going to be fine. I think the Vikings will be fine. This game, however, was not fine. And I just wanted to bring a bit of positivity and kind of clear up that thing about, this is a coach who's seen more than our coach has seen. And maybe that's just how it went. I know there's a lot of people who'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys, for taking my call.
Thank you, Chris. What are your thoughts on I don't believe they overlapped in Green Bay. I'm seeing, let me see here, 2000 through 2003, Ed Donatel was the defensive coordinator in Green Bay. McCarthy joined in 2006, so no necessary overlap there. But new coach versus experienced coach, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, that call took me on a roller coaster ride of emotions. Like, I thought he was going to give us some tidbit about the coaching overlap or something. And
well, it was it started out.
It's like when you get to the top of the roller coaster and then it doesn't actually drop, it just goes flat. And then you're like, wait a minute, where's the drop at? And it never really comes.
Or you just hang there because they're trying to fix some mechanical thing. That's awful.
But yeah, so, I get what he's saying, though.
He started with it being an unacceptable game,
right?
But now he's still
okay.
In.
Yeah,
now
he's
like,
right. He went from meat sauce to Corey Cole
to
hockey. I don't know what he's doing. But I understand what he's saying. And older coach versus younger coach, but that's the reason why he has an Ed Donatel. I saw Wade Phillips was in the building, supporting his son Wes Phillips.
Yeah,
and I was talking to Ben Lieber about this. I'm like, why isn't Wade Phillips on the staff, as a consultant? Just to help out more or be down, be there, be another voice in that room. There's no limit to how many coaches you can have in the NFL.
Yeah, I know. We saw that with the last coaching regime.
Yeah.
We had 50 guys on retainer.
Hey, you need people to see things that everybody's focused on something. So if you got somebody focusing on this, and Ben, said Wade Phillips had some of the most simplest defenses that would actually get to people. Like and simple as far as like how they were. I think Ben said he's with them with the Chargers, and he said just to retain the information, and it was easy for them. So not to say it's too hard for Andrew Booth Jr. or whatever. I'm just saying like, hey, why not have another voice in there? But to the caller's point,
I don't
think
we had Dom
Mike McCarthy,
Capers on staff, like just sleeping in an executive suite during games.
Yeah, Dom Capers was there, and but
maybe Wade can do the same thing.
Maybe, but did the old coach get the young coach? No, that team just got beat up. I don't care what. It has nothing to do with the age like that. But yeah, he's right. It's another learning experience. Hey, they got to get ready for Thanksgiving.
And I still think it's the first time, and it's not a good thing. I want this team to win every game.
Right.
But this is going to be, I think, again, more so than even week 2. This is the first time where Kevin O'Connell honestly has to go back and be like, man, every single part of that sucked. This is as embarrassing as it gets.
Right.
How do we get better? Because in a lot of these games, we can't live forever on coming back from 14 against the Lions in the fourth quarter or 17 against the Bills.
Yeah.
It took a ridiculous, catastrophic, failed snap on the goal line to even put us in a spot to win that game last week. So, and you look at just how these things play out, maybe this is that kick in the face that Adam Thielen was talking about.
Yeah.
Jack in Wisconsin, welcome to Vikings Fan Line.
Yeah, hi, guys. I got a couple things to say. How come we don't use the 2 running backs back and forth like the other teams, 49ers, Dallas, Green Bay? Another thing, you can't, when your line isn't holding up, you can't stand there like a statue. Cousins should roll out or do something. Like Prescott, he isn't as good. And why, after we're down 30-0, have we got our starters in there, taking a chance of getting them hurt? And when they played the whole game the way they did, you knew they weren't coming back. Pull your starters out and just take it as a loss. Thank you. I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Did we pull our starters too late, Ron? Or maybe it was just the right time.
That's up to the coaches. I don't care. This is what I say to, I don't really care. The 2 running back thing doesn't work if you're only running the ball 13 times. So you can't do that.
We don't do 2 backs because we don't want to run the ball.
You don't run the ball enough. You can't go Dalvin 6 and what's his name, Madison 6, and CJ none or 1. When I say 2 back, I mean put a full back in there. Yeah. Let's just in football. I didn't have to deal with this because I was a receiver. But there's periods called 9-on-7. You got your 9 offensive guys, and there's 7, which the running back and the quarterback are people like, why is it unbalanced? It's because the quarterback. But you go 9-on-7. You know it's a run. There's no passing this. We're going to run. You know we're going to run. You try to stop us. That's at some point you have to, that's what the Cowboys were doing. Hey, Zeke's in, Pollard's in. We're running the ball. Are you bigger and stronger? Who wants it more? And that's where you got the best running back in football. You got it at some point. He had 72 yards on 11 carries.
Yeah.
6.5 yards per carry. The man should have had 200 yards on the ground.
We need more Dalvin.
Slow the game down a little bit because there's 2 options. Either run the ball, take some time off the clock, or if you're going to go hurry, then get everybody to the line, get them off balance. But you can't just line up every time, call a play if it's not working. Now, in games it's working, fine. But it hasn't really worked. Every single game has been a comeback. And this is what was actually cool, though. Being in the elevator, because I always like to take my badge off so people don't know, I work for the team or whatever, so I can just kind of hear their conversations in the elevators in the stadium. And even when they were down 14, people were like, oh, this is what we do. They're going to come back. Just wait. It's going to be a Kirk Cousins fourth quarter. It never happened. But at least, people are still, it was, I don't think people left until, the fourth quarter. People for a while thought, okay, it can happen.
Well, it's too bad, too, because we held the Cowboys to just 3 points in the fourth quarter. So that was technically our best quarter.
They started them off too fast.
It's Vikings Fan Line, 800-320-5326, 800-320-5326. Max Fuller on the boards checking for any talkbacks that might be available as well. But 40-3 is the final. And so that's where we are at as a franchise in this particular moment. We're down. We're irritated. We're annoyed. And we have 4 days to get back at it as the New England Patriots are coming to town on Thanksgiving Eve for a prime timer at U.S. Bank Stadium. couple more segments of thoughts and opinions before we wrap this thing up. It's Vikings Fan Line on the Fan and the Fan Radio Network.
I started my power line company with just a few contracts. Rachel from Choice Bank helped me grow my business with equipment financing through the SBA. Now I have more time for line dancing. Rachel helps me reach my goals, from my business to my boot scootin' boogie. I'm Lou. I'm a lineman by trade, but a line dancer by choice.
Choice Bank. We're committed to your business, your success, and to you. It's what we mean by people first banking. Go to bankwithchoice.com.
Hey, fans of the purple and gold, it's Paul Allen. And if you're sick of trying to tackle your deck maintenance, then rush over to TimberTech. TimberTech looks more like real wood than any other composite brand. And it's tough enough to handle even the harshest Minnesota weather. Want to lock up some protection too? TimberTech offers warranties that give you up to 50 years of coverage. So if you're ready to build the perfect place to kick back at kickoff this season, visit TimberTech.com to get free samples. TimberTech. Everything wood should be.
At Evans, we know that defense and big stops wins you championships. But when it comes to logistics, moving forward is key. Ben Lieber here for my guys at Evans. If logistics were football, Evans would be an explosive offense, dropping dimes and hitting the gritty. Make Evans your favorite logistics team today. Evans will be your signal caller you can jump on their backs and ride to victory. Get ahead of the competition right now and have a great experience while you're at it. Visit evanstrans.com. Again, evanstrans.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's creepy, but we manage, just like we manage without home internet.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
It's not that bad.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Football season means tailgating, touchdowns, and cheering for your favorite team. In Minnesota, there are nearly 100 local credit unions with over 300 branches for you to team up with to take your money further. Credit unions stand for community and trust. They keep any profits local and provide members better savings rates. Your teammates own a credit union, and that means you're all working for the same goals. More transparency, more trust will give you more personal financial wins. Visit MinnesotaCreditUnions.org to find your local credit union to take your money further.
Hey, football fans, it's time to treat your family with a mouth-watering Carboni's Pizza, wings, or a hot hoagie for the game. Carboni's Pizza was voted Best Pizza Twin Cities and has been serving pizza the whole family loves since 1954. Carboni's only uses the freshest ingredients and secret recipes to ensure your family is happy every time. The legacy of two hopeful young Italians is still present in every visit, every exchange, and in every bite. Over 30 locations to choose from. Find yours at carbonis.com.
Hey, it's Moss. It's so exciting to move, unless, of course, you got to move yourself. That's why I love Two Men in a Truck. Whether you're going cross-country or just down the street, 2 Men in a Truck can take the stress out of moving. They also offer fast and efficient junk removal. So wherever life takes you, for home or business, 2 Men in a Truck can get you there with fewer headaches. I've known them, I've used them, and they are amazing. Always courteous and professional. So stop stressing. Do yourself a favor and contact 2 Men in a Truck for your next move or junk removal. 2 Men in a Truck, the movers who care.
You can lose a sale by talking too much, but you'll never lose a sale by listening too much. When presenting features and benefits, your prospect is in a passive mode, just sitting back and listening. When you ask thought-provoking questions, the prospect is actively engaged, no longer a spectator at the event. Remember, selling is not telling. Ask questions and show genuine curiosity to fully understand the prospect's needs, pain, then provide solutions. To grow your sales, go to salespro.sandler.com. That's salespro.sandler.com.
Podcast all KFAN shows on the free iHeartRadio app. Just open the app and click the podcast icon. Just another way to listen to the Fan.
Hey, it's Robert from St. Louis Park. I only get 30 seconds for all this. I could go 30 minutes at least. But my goodness, Kevin O'Connell has to manage the freak-out factor with Kirk Cousins so he does not mentally short-circuit himself in the first half or the first quarter. It seemed like the first quarter. And Ed Donatel has to tighten up this defense just a little bit. My God, cover somebody.
Welcome back, Vikings Fan Line. Ooh, passionate talkbacks. That's what I'm looking for, and I absolutely love it. 40-3 is the final, which created a lot of big opinions and a lot of passion from Vikings fans, mostly negative ones. There's no doubt about it. Couple segments left, 800-320-5326, 800-320-5326, free iHeartRadio app for the talkbacks. It's one of the, looking back at this, and again, it's tough when the Cowboys had the ball for nearly 20 minutes of the first half, and as the talkback mentioned, that managing the Kirk freakout factor. And we've only seen it twice this year, and it happens to be in the two losses, where in Philly, you saw whether it was miscommunication, maybe it was Justin Jefferson running the wrong route on that first of 3 interceptions that Kirk threw, but the constant pressure he was under, the happy feet, he's not moving and feeling the pressure, and he's just kind of letting it happen. And you saw that again today, and the 7 sacks are gaudy. But we've only seen it twice, and both games ultimately ended up on the wrong side of the scoreline for the purple. But managing that again, he's also the same guy that stood in there and let Daron Payne murder him in Washington and unveiled one of the most perfect throws you're going to see deep down the sideline to JJ on the run for a 40-plus yard gain. He's the guy that stood in there against the Bills for the third and fourth quarters after kind of a shaky first half and helped put the team in a position to get super freaking lucky and walk out with a victory. So the consistency factor is something that I want to really buy into, but managing the freak-out factor, I just don't think that it's been a consistent enough problem as it pertains to Kirk. However, again, in a loss, and we're looking back at these things, it kind of goes back to the thing you were talking about, Ron, the idea of whether it's moving the pocket, it's adding protection, putting Kirk in a better spot. When we know they pin their ears back. They've conceded 200-plus yards on the ground 2 straight games, the Cowboys did.
Yeah.
We know that they like to do one thing, and that's assault quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And we didn't do anything, it felt like, functionally to protect him from that.
Yeah, well, you can see Dak Prescott with the zone read kind of, sticking in the running back's belly. If it's not there, I'm pulling it, and then I'm running out. I'm not running out to run. I'm running out to now throw. And so he has that option. I can run or I can pass, or vice versa, the pass-run option. Kirk Cousins rolling to his left, and this is back when Kevin Stefanski was here, and we always talk about this stat. He was the number 1 quarterback in the NFL for rolling to his left as far as, throwing. And that's on top of left-handed quarterbacks.
Yep.
He was the number 1 quarterback, and he's right-handed.
His roll to his left, throw back to the right.
Throwing back to the right, or just throwing the ball, period. So we saw Dak Prescott's warm-up. He does the Shakira hip thrust.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they're working on. How do I run to my left or my right, but my left primarily, and then kind of torque my hips to be able to get back square, because that's what quarterbacks always have to do. Get square. Don't throw back across your body. Get square and then throw to your target.
I don't even play football, and I do 50 reps every morning. Gets me ready for the montage.
I didn't know where you were going with that one. I was like, is your wife okay with that?
She's in another room. She doesn't watch it.
But when you think about that, Kirk Cousins is, he's not super athletic, but he's good. He's good at doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
On the run. Also on the run, and, we're going to probably hear that a ton this week. It doesn't allow them, like you said, to pin their ears back, because now they have to chase. And now it also gives Kirk, if it is man coverage, just take off and run. Go get 11 yards. Go get 6 yards and slide down. Whatever it is. I feel like this should have been a game. Now, whether they're scared to put him out there because Micah Parsons is just as fast, or not just faster, but you can't worry about that. You just got to go. You got to make sure that your quarterback is not a statue, as we saw today. It was a lot of that. And it was a lot of as soon as he felt a guy coming or felt like, oh, yep, he's going to hit me. And he was just because that first sack fumble probably spooked him a little bit too. I don't want to let this thing go again. So
40-3 is the final. We're going to do one more segment. Vikings fan line around the corner. The Vikings lose 40-3. Turn the page on it. Tomorrow morning, we do the sad montage. We break this whole thing down, but then we got to build it back up again. They're playing on Thanksgiving. New England Patriots and Belichick in town after that punt return. Basically a walk-off. There's 5 seconds left in the game. After one of the most boring games I've ever watched in my life during the early period, I kind of wish the Vikings game would have been 3-3. Instead of what we saw. But one final segment, we'll try to grab a call or two before we head out for the evening. You're listening to Vikings Fan Line on the Fan and the Fan Radio Network.
Hey, Minnesota fans, it's Paul Allen. Know what the legendary Purple People Eaters and TimberTech decking have in common? A dominating defense. TimberTech has the durability to hold up against Minnesota weather for decades. Not only will it not rot, warp, or splinter like conventional wood, but it looks more like real wood than any other composite brand. And with up to a 50-year warranty, you're protected season after season. Order free samples at TimberTech.com to see the boards for yourself. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
At Evans, we know that defense and big stops wins you championships. But when it comes to logistics, moving forward is key. Ben Lieber here from my guys at Evans. If logistics were football, Evans would be an explosive offense, dropping dimes and hitting the gritty. Make Evans your favorite logistics team today. Evans will be your signal caller. You can jump on their backs and ride to victory. Get ahead of the competition right now and have a great experience while you're at it. Visit evanstrans.com. Again, evanstrans.com.
Maybe it's hair in the sink, or hair on your pillow in the morning, or hair in the shower. All signs your hairline is headed in the wrong direction. When that happened to me, I went to Hair Restoration Institute. I battled back, restored my hairline, and made an investment in my future. Find out why Hair Restoration Institute was named Minnesota's best hair restoration clinic by the Star Tribune. Go to myhairlossclinic.com or call 612-588-HAIR. You can't spell hair without HRI. Go to myhairlossclinic.com or call 612-588-HAIR.
Hey, football fans, it's time to treat your family with a mouth-watering Carboni's Pizza, wings, or a hot hoagie for the game. Carboni's Pizza was voted Best Pizza Twin Cities and has been serving pizza the whole family loves since 1954. Carboni's only uses the freshest ingredients and secret recipes to ensure your family is happy every time. The legacy of two hopeful young Italians is still present in every visit, every exchange, and in every bite. Over 30 locations to choose from. Find yours at carbonis.com.
Football season means tailgating, touchdowns, and cheering for your favorite team. In Minnesota, there are nearly 100 local credit unions with over 300 branches for you to team up with to take your money further. Credit unions stand for community and trust. They keep any profits local and provide members better savings rates. Your teammates own a credit union, and that means you're all working for the same goals. More transparency, more trust will give you more personal financial wins. Visit MinnesotaCreditUnions.org to find your local credit union to take your money further.
They say a good craftsman never blames their tools, and the best always choose the right one for the job. For the builders and makers of this world, nothing beats knowing you've got what you need to get the project done. Northern Tool is a problem solver's paradise. Hurry in now to catch our Black Friday deals, where we have the perfect gift for every solver in your life, from names like Honda, Milwaukee, and Lincoln Electric. We're made for this. Come see us in store or shop online at northerntool.com.
TB1 Fund and M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital are united with founder Braxton's mission to brighten the days of patients and their families. Let's cheer for Braxton's buddy of the week, Isla. Isla was born 5 weeks early and was unable to breathe due to a blockage. Her life was saved, but more surgeries were in her future, along with a diagnosis of profound hearing loss. Isla continues to tackle challenges with her spunky attitude. Thanks to the NICU and the team at Masonic and Minnesota ALS community, Isla and her family have never felt alone. Learn more about Isla and how you can make a difference at tb1fund.org.
In Minnesota, winning is everything. And on the road, that means Honda, America's most fuel-efficient, full-line automaker. And this year, Honda's made some exciting new lineup changes, starting with the all-new Honda HR-V. And coming soon, even more redesigned Honda SUVs. So don't wait. For attractive financing on Honda's all-star lineup, see your Greater Twin Cities Honda dealer to reserve or buy your Honda today. Based on EPA estimate of model year 2020 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy. 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
The Minnesota Wild host the Winnipeg Jets Wednesday night at 6 on the station for Minnesota Wild hockey, FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Empty backfield, 3rd and 3, first drive of the game. 3 receivers right. Cousins takes the snap, looks left. Now he rushes out to the right. Parsons has him, and it's a strip sack. Micah assaulted Kirk from behind, knocked it out, and the Dallas Cowboys have turned over the Vikings to begin this Sunday. Cousins back to pass. Micah Parsons got him for another sack. 2 sacks for Micah Parsons. He has 10 on the year. This is the 5th game with at least 2 sacks for Parsons. First in the NFL.
Final segment. kind of a shorty. I do want to hit people with this though. The local Chevy dealers drive of the game. Well, it's the 10-play, 69-yard field goal drive that took place in the first quarter to make it 3-3. Needed T.J. Hawkinson to catch a touchdown there. Maybe, you know what? Everything would have been different if T.J. Hawkinson catches that touchdown pass, Ron.
Corey Cove always says the butterfly effect. So maybe.
Absolutely.
Maybe the team is like, oh, we're going to do this.
Yeah. And that would have changed our entire defensive scheme. We wouldn't have let Tony Pollard just run wild.
The Cowboys defense would have second-guessed everything moving forward. They would put a lot of attention on T.J. Hawkinson and forgot about Justin Jefferson. Yeah.
Vikings would have won the game if T.J.
Mike McCarthy
Hawkinson
would have panicked. I can't stop the tight end.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. If he would have caught a 2nd and 2 pass.
Because they would have went up 7-3.
With 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
The entire complexion of the game changes. Vikings 8-2. Win streak dead, but a chance to start anew, hopefully winning ways on Thursday. Any quick thoughts on, in terms of, when this team goes back to the facility and you're trying to tear all of this apart, there's almost a law of diminishing returns where how much can you truly focus on this and dig into this, this bloodbath that ensued today versus also saying we do have a game in 4 days.
Yep.
So how do you handle that?
So like Adam Thielen said, you got to flush it down the toilet, to be honest. I mean, I personally, I know like being in situations, I wouldn't even watch this film. Like there's not much you can get from it. Like, to be honest, like why watch it? I mean, I guess as a coach, you got to do it because it's your job. But like Adam said, I flush that thing down the toilet. Like it didn't happen. Let's move on. Get some rest, ice up, son, like Steve Smith says, and then get ready for Tuesday, Wednesday for, like Tuesday has to be fast paced. I don't think it can be a walkthrough. I mean, you don't need to hit, no pads, but it's got to be fast paced. You got to be running, like put your skates on, run, get sweaty, get in there. Wednesday, there's no reason to like walk through Wednesday knowing you have to play Thursday because you're going to get a long break. Run Wednesday, no hitting, but run. Run. Get all your, all these plays, whatever you want to do. Run. Work on no huddle. Work on whatever you're going to. And then Thursday, go out there with that same, because build up to it. Because, again, I'm not going to say the coach because people hate him. I'll bring them up on this. But they call it Fast Fridays. Fast Fridays, getting ready for Saturday.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a method to the madness. And it's not just him. Like there's other coaches like Alabama and other schools do this too. So, maybe there's something to that. Have a fast Wednesday, and then let's go out on Thursday and put the Patriots on skates.
Thanks to everybody that called in, participated in Vikings Fan Line. 40-3 is the final. Wish I had better news. I like doing Fan Line after wins a hell of a lot.
If you're looking
more.
for a tweet, too, to a hashtag to get trending people, hashtag free CJ Ham.
Hashtag free CJ.
Hashtag free CJ Ham.
I like
Max Protect. Hashtag free CJ Ham.
And maybe that's the goal, and maybe we'll see that as soon as Thursday. We shall see.
Let's trend it.
That's it for Vikings Fan Line. Follow Ron at 3Ron Johnson via Twitter. And follow 9 to noon tomorrow. Sad montage into breaking this thing down. More chances for calls and talkbacks at that time as well. But I know tomorrow they should have Adam Thielen on with the Power Trip. So interested to hear what he has to say. Ben Lieber in studio on Mondays. It's just basically when you wake up tomorrow, turn on the fan.
Yeah.
And we'll love you for it, and we'll break this thing down as we try to build you back up to Thursday with the New England Patriots in town. It should be a 5 or 5:30 pregame into a 7:20-ish kickoff. And I'll be doing Fan Line on Thanksgiving night.
I'm with you.
Hopefully, we're talking about a 9-2 team. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, and then what? We'll be done about midnight, and I can stop by one of the local watering holes for a Thanksgiving drink.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to The Fan when you do. This has been Vikings Fan Line. Everybody have a great, awesome, amazing Sunday night despite the awful football game, and we'll cover this tomorrow. It's The Fan and the Fan Radio Network.
Hey, honey, we're going to the store. Want to drive?
You're letting me drive your Chevy Equinox?
Sure. Why wouldn't I?
Well, aren't you a little overprotective?
No.
Mom, you hired a pro wrestler to babysit me when I was little.
Ex-pro wrestler.
And you made me wear a helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, and eye goggles when I learned how to ride a bike.
Yeah, I did.
Do I need to remind you what happened when I went to the homecoming dance with my friends?
That's probably best left unsaid. Besides, it was my turn to chaperone.
And you're going to let me drive?
Come on, let's go.
The 2022 Chevy Equinox comes standard with 6 active safety features like automatic emergency braking and forward collision alert, because everyone could use more peace of mind. Chevy Equinox with standard Chevy Safety Assist. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Chevy Safety Assist includes automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, forward collision alert, and telebeam and following distance indicator. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Football season means tailgating, touchdowns, and cheering for your favorite team. In Minnesota, there are nearly 100 local credit unions with over 300 branches for you to team up with to take your money further. Credit unions stand for community and trust. They keep any profits local and provide members better savings rates. Your teammates own a credit union, and that means you're all working for the same goals. More transparency, more trust will give you more personal financial wins. Visit MinnesotaCreditUnions.org to find your local credit union to take your money further.
Hey, honey, we're going to the store. Want to drive?
You're letting me drive your Chevy Equinox?
Sure. Why wouldn't I?
Well, aren't you a little overprotective?
No.
Mom, you hired a pro wrestler to babysit me when I was little.
Ex-pro wrestler.
And you made me wear a helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, and eye goggles when I learned how to ride a bike.
Yeah, I did.
Do I need to remind you what happened when I went to the homecoming dance with my friends?
That's probably best left unsaid. Besides, it was my turn to chaperone.
And you're going to let me drive?
Come on, let's go.
The 2022 Chevy Equinox comes standard with 6 active safety features like automatic emergency braking and forward collision alert, because everyone could use more peace of mind. Chevy Equinox with standard Chevy Safety Assist. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Chevy Safety Assist includes automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, forward collision alert, and telebeam and following distance indicator. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Hi, it's Brax with TB1 Fun. Braxton's Buddies is going great this season, but this November, I need your help. We can't provide the programs for patients without help from donors. Can you help? Please visit tb1fund.org or text TB1Fund to 56651 to make a donation today. Carousel Motor Group has offered to match all donations up to $25,000. Any size donation helps. Thanks.
Carousel Motor Group, with 8 dealerships in the metro area, is dedicated to giving back to our communities. They're also a great place to work, recently winning Star Tribune's Top Workplace in 2021 and 2022, and Top Workplace USA in 2022. Hey, it's Muss for my friends at 2 Men and a Truck. 2 Men and a Truck takes the stress out of moving so you can focus on what's important. Your new beginning. Whether it's down the street or across the country, 2 Men and a Truck will be there for all of your moving and junk removal needs. Moving doesn't need to be hard. Let 2 Men and a Truck show you how easy it can be. Get a free quote at 2menandatruck.com. 2 Men and a Truck. The movers who care.
At Evans, we know that defense and big stops wins you championships. But when it comes to logistics, moving forward is key. Ben Lieber here from my guys at Evans. If logistics were football, Evans would be an explosive offense, dropping dimes and hitting the gritty. Make Evans your favorite logistics team today. Evans will be your signal caller. You can jump on their backs and ride to victory. Get ahead of the competition right now and have a great experience while you're at it. Visit evanstrans.com. Again, evanstrans.com.
Vikings Patriots, Thursday night at 7:20 on The Fan.
Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
As the stock market slumps and instability this year got you concerned, would you like a way that could protect your retirement when the markets are down? Gold Alliance would like to give you 2 free reports, the Inflation Survival Plan and the Stock Market Correction Plan. Both give actionable insights you can use now that could protect your savings in uncertain times. Absolutely free. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2079. 800-200-2079. 800-200-2079.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1, find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Join us again tomorrow night for Monday Night Football on Westwood One when the Cardinals face the 49ers in Mexico City. Ryan Radke and Mike Golick will have all the action beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. NFL Network's Rich Eisen gets it all started with the pregame show at 7:30. And Arizona's J.J. Watt will join Rich as a guest on the Mercedes-Benz Vans Hotline. Want to unlock your potential? Open up a vehicle that's capable and versatile enough to drive your ambitions as far as you want to take them. A Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.
I really could use one of those.
Yeah, you could.
Those things are so nice.
Taking it to Friday night football games in Central Pennsylvania.
McGavin's here. Shooter
Chris McDonald, the actor.
That's amazing.
Is here, and he's on the big board, and it really captured Ross's attention.
If you had any idea how many times I watched that movie in college,
man.
It is unbelievable.
You know who else is here?
That guy has made an entire career out of that. Has he ever been in anything else other than Happy Gilmore?
Here's the kickoff with the penalty, and Pacheco, he catches it on the sidelines, and he should have let it go out of bounds.
Oh, that's
he caught
a
it at the
huge
6
mental error.
and then fell out of bounds. If he had let it go, it would have just gone out of bounds.
That is a rookie mistake, because here's the other thing, Tom. If he stepped 1 foot out of bounds and then caught it, they get the ball at the 35.
Wow.
He caught it like he had to get both feet in.
He did, yeah.
When it's actually the opposite. You want to catch it with one out, and then it's a penalty. And Dave Taub, the special teams coordinator, can't believe it. He's shaking his head. That is a huge mental error.
Yeah, they spotted at the 6-yard line of Kansas City. Kelsey comes in motion. Mahomes moving from right to left from the far hash mark. Out of the gun, takes the low snap. Hands the ball off to Pacheco, who goes up to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5 yards. Tranquil makes the tackle. It'll be second down at 5.
I feel like Tranquil is a really poor last name for a linebacker. Right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be like Stonebreaker? Michael Stonebreaker, Notre Dame in the late 80s, something like that. Tranquil. By the way, he's anything but.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be second down at about 5. The ball just outside the 10-yard line. Mahomes out of the gun again. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Mahomes zips it to the near side. Incomplete. He had a man, but it was Valdez-Scantling, but he threw it kind of behind him, and he couldn't corral it with his one hand.
So this is where it all comes together, right, Tom? This is a huge play in this game because the face mask on Bolton enabled the Chargers to kick off from the 50, which enabled them to kick it where they did. Pacheco made the mental mistake. So now if they get a 3-and-out on defense, the Chargers will get the ball back around midfield with a chance to go up 2 scores before half.
2:52 to play in the first half. It's 17-13 Chargers. It's third down and 5. The ball on the 11-yard line of Kansas City. Mahomes drops back to pass. Pressure's coming. Throws to his left. He tried to get it to Kelsey, but it's incomplete. Derwin James was in on the coverage and knocked it away. And he's showing some emotion. He took his helmet off, but it was on the sidelines, and he's trying to get his fans riled up into this game.
Derwin James is such a unique football player. 6'2", 215, but he moves like a corner at times and had perfect coverage on Travis Kelsey running the out route.
Well, and what's happening, or what could have happened, is going to happen because DeAndre Carter's back deep to receive this punt by Tommy Townsend. From his goal line, he just gets it off. This is a good high kick. And Carter calls for the fair catch at the 39-yard line. It's a 50-yard punt. There's a break in the action with the score. The Chargers 17, the Chiefs 13. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. You just got to keep driving towards the end zone. And when it's time to turn the game around, you need all the right parts to play together. So next time you need a part for your car, don't call it quits. Head to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts. So the road to victory is always in your favor. And you can keep driving well into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
A reminder to join us Saturday, December 10th for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the Army-Navy game presented by USAA. John Sadak, Ross Tucker, and Tina Servazio will bring you all the tradition, pageantry, and excitement from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. It's the 123rd Army-Navy game presented by USAA, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern right here on most of these same Westwood One stations. For more info or to listen to the live stream for free, log on to westwoodonesports.com. I know you called the Army game yesterday. You talked about the seniors on the Army team and how you've called the last 4 years of their games and how cool it was for you to have this interaction with them.
It really was, and I say it every year, Tom, but the Army-Navy game is my single favorite day of the year.
Wow.
It's hard to explain unless you're in the building that day, but just the feeling of patriotism and of excitement, faith, feeling good about the country. If you want all of those things in one, get to the Army-Navy game sometime or just listen to our broadcast.
17-13, Chargers on top. Los Angeles with the football on first down. Pass is complete to Keenan Allen from Herbert to his left side up toward midfield. It's a gain of 11 yards. Nick Bolton in on the coverage. And again, plenty of time for the Chargers with under 2.5 minutes to play.
So you're really doing two things right now if you're the Chargers. See, they're huddling. That's the right thing to do. They want to score here, but they don't want to give the Chiefs another possession. So they're trying to accomplish two separate and distinct tasks at the same time.
Chiefs showing blitz from the far side. Herbert out of the gun, hands it off to Eckler, running left, and he cuts back right, and he gets to the 47-yard line, a gain of almost 4. And the clock winds to the 2-minute warning, with the Chargers on top 17-13. So we've reached the 2-minute warning, sponsored by Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser powers through household messes like magic, so it only looks like you spent hours cleaning. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. It makes cleaning look easy. Chargers 17, Chiefs 13. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonial.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Back here at SoFi Stadium along with Ross Tucker, I'm Tom McCarthy. We've reached the 2-minute warning with the score. The Chargers 17, the Chiefs 13. A very entertaining first half, which I think we all expected. But I think seeing Justin Herbert having all of his weapons back and using all of them, it's made a huge difference for the Chargers.
Well, the thing I was going to say, that he hasn't, Mike Williams is hurt. Again, he's not out there, and he hasn't really used Keenan Allen that much. It's been a lot of Joshua Palmer and some of these other guys.
Second down and 7. They hand it off to Eckler, and Eckler makes one man miss, but then is wrapped up and taken down. It's a short game. Dana will officially be credited with the tackle, but Justin Reed's the one who slowed him in the backfield.
Eckler always makes the first guy miss. That was a tremendous read by Justin Reed. He came flying in. He identified that it was going to be a run early, and he came in unblocked, but Eckler spun just to get some type of positive yardage there.
Third down and 7. They're 4 for 6 on third down so far. They need to get to the 40-yard line of Kansas City for another first down. 1:20 to play first half. They lead it by 4. Herbert trying to step up in the pocket, rolls to his right, still behind the line of scrimmage, now pumps once and runs, and he's knocked out of bounds after he goes out of bounds, and here come the flags. That is not a good penalty by the Chiefs. They're going to call it on Nick Bolton because Herbert was out of bounds when Bolton put his hands on him.
What is Nick Bolton doing? That's twice now. He had the face mask on the goal line, and now Herbert was clearly out of bounds. It looked like to me.
Personal foul. Late hit, out of bounds. Defense number 32. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. It's first down.
I got to say, I think Herbert sold it a little bit. I mean, there was a shove, but he definitely sold it.
He definitely sold it, but that's what you should do.
Yeah.
That's sportsmanship, and it's just so silly by Bolton. He was clearly out of bounds. You got to use your head and be smarter than that. They were probably going to have to punt the football. Now the Chargers are already in scoring position, and Tom, they're going to be able to take the clock all the way down so the Chiefs don't get another possession.
4 penalties, 54 yards for the Chiefs in this first half. It's first down for the 27-yard line of Kansas City. Near hash mark, going from left to right. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Herbert rolls to his left, throws to the middle toward the hash mark. He's got Palmer, and Palmer just sits down at the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 16. They kind of gave him too much room to make that reception.
Way too much room. I'm a little surprised the Chargers are going on the football now. You don't want to score right away here, do you?
No. On first down, they hand it off to Eckler. He breaks to his left, slips a tackle, breaks another one, and then drags his defender inside the 5. Brian Cook was the defender he dragged, and he took him down to the 2-yard line.
Plenty of time right now for the Chargers. Plenty of time.
And now the officials stop the clock.
Kansas City.
Kansas City will use a timeout. It's the final timeout of the half. Well, the copyright of tonight's broadcast of Sunday Night Football on Westwood One is owned by the NFL on behalf of its member clubs. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or any other use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the National Football League is strictly prohibited.
You know, Eckler has an unbelievable combination of at times making the first guy miss and at times running through the first guy. But you can almost count on one hand when the first guy ever gets him down. He is extremely impressive, and he's a guy they like to go to a lot down here near the goal line. Chargers still have 1 timeout, so they can absolutely run it.
It's second down and 1. The ball spotted at the 2. And in motion, one of the tight ends, Eckler in the backfield. They hand it to him on a pitch. He goes to his right, nothing doing. It was snuffed out by Snead, and Snead knocks him back a couple yards. It'll be third down with 31 seconds and counting to play.
If you're the Chargers, you got plenty of time here. In fact, they might even want to take it down. See, Brandon Staley just called timeout there. I guess it's probably going to be okay, but I probably would have taken it down to like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 plays after that. Why give the Chiefs any time after this next play?
It was a good read by Snead, though, wasn't it?
Really good read. He's a smart player. You don't get that many tackles. 64 coming into tonight and 3.5 sacks as a nickel corner with a lot of season left to go.
Yeah, Steve Spagnuolo said last week that he tries to move him around where he's kind of a hybrid and he's up on the defensive line. He said he couldn't even play defensive line if I needed him to. All right, so 23 seconds left to play here in the first half. It'll be third down.
I highly doubt they're going to run it here. This is going to be a pass. You don't want to be in a situation you can't spike it on fourth.
Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Herbert's in trouble. He tries to break away. Throws to the back of the end zone. It's deflected. Snead knocked it away. I thought he was in the grass because he was wrapped up as he was ready to throw it. And there's 17 seconds left here in the first half. They're going to have to kick a field goal. Chris Jones was there.
Absolutely, Tom. And it's a good thing that Justin Herbert is 6'6", 240. Because if he gets sacked there, I'm not sure they get this field goal off because the clock would have kept running.
That's right.
Tremendous lower body strength by Herbert to just throw it in there, although he did kind of throw it up for grabs. Snead might have been able to pick it.
Well, this is a 21-yard field goal attempt by Cameron Dicker. He's made one tonight. Good snap, good hole. Kick is on its way, and he drills it. With 14 seconds left to play here in the first half, it's 20-13. The Chargers on top of Kansas City. There's a timeout on the field. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T. Euro Health.
Let's check the drive summary sponsored by the United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Get holiday ready at USPS.com/holidays. So the field goal has given the Chargers a 20-13 lead. It was 9 plays, 58 yards, 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
It's unlikely that the Chiefs could get any points here, but I would not kick a touchback. I'd kick it in the field of play. There you go.
Yeah,
there
they squib it along the near side. It's picked up by one of the up men. And the Chiefs, with 10 seconds left, to try to rumble their way as close to the 40-yard line as they possibly can. The up man was Michael Burton, the fullback.
It's actually a pretty good job by Burton. Usually when you squib kick it like that to a fullback, they don't get that many yards.
Yeah.
So he did a nice job, but they still got 8 seconds off the clock there. So the Chiefs have 5 seconds to try to get about 15 to 20 yards here to maybe give Butker an opportunity.
Yeah, 62 yards this year for Butker. That's his career long. It's first down for the 37-yard line. McKinnon in motion out of the backfield. Mahomes to the far side. Pass is incomplete. He threw it in the direction of Sky Moore. And now there's 3 seconds left. I guess you could just throw it up for grabs if he wants to. Mahomes has enough arm strength.
Sky Moore looked like he wasn't expecting a back shoulder throw right there, but he should be, right? Catch the ball, get out of bounds.
By the way, the Chargers have Gilman and Adderley back deep playing center field. Kerwin James is playing the position that you play in softball behind the second base bag. Mahomes sets up out of the gun, throws to his left, pass is complete at the 37-yard line. And that's where the half will end. It was Watson, the receiver, who made the catch. And that'll just pad the stats for Patrick Mahomes. What do you got, Russ?
Awesome first half. I think we are in store for an even better second half, but you got to give a lot of credit to the Chargers. They have come out to play tonight. They are not backing down from the mighty Chiefs.
Well, that is the end of the first half with the score. The Chargers 20 and the Chiefs 13. When we return, Scott Graham rejoins us from our studios with the Jack Links halftime report. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
What if I told you you could change your life in just 2 minutes? Wait, this isn't a life hack. It's a toothbrush, an Oral-B electric toothbrush. See, Oral-B uses a dentist-inspired round brush head that basically hugs each tooth. So, in just 2 minutes of brushing, it honestly feels like you just left the dentist without the annoying leaving your house part. So, get yourself an Oral-B and upgrade your routine. Best use of 2 minutes ever. Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol Shaving Cream.
That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol.
Barbasol. New Jack Link's Barbecue Pork Tender Bites. A mouth-watering, sweet and savory bite-sized barbecue snack. Because if barbecue wants to be a flavor and a patio appliance, Jack Link's is good with it. Available at a Hy-Vee near you.
Welcome to the Sunday Night Football Halftime Report on Westwood One. Sponsored by Jack Link's. Our savory protein friends at Jack Link's want to remind you, if you want to wear team color face paint while watching the game at home, Jack Link's is good with it. Pick up Jack Link's at a store near you. Once again, here's your host, Scott Graham.
From our Westwood One studios, we've reached halftime in Los Angeles. Chargers on top of the Chiefs by a score of 20-13. Let's get you updated on what happened around the rest of the league today. And for the Dallas Cowboys, finishing their tour of the NFC North in Minnesota today against a Vikings team coming off a big win last week. But Dallas has some muscle to be able to flex this year. We haven't seen it in every game, but we saw it today, and Minnesota was on the receiving end.
Snap back to Prescott. He's got a lot of time. Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught at the 45, 40, Pollard, 20, 10, Pollard, Uncle. 68 to Tony Pollard on 3rd and 15. Good night, nurse.
Brad Sham, 105.3 The Fan of the Dallas Cowboys radio network. Dallas putting up 14 in the third quarter to stretch a big lead, and they coast to a 40-3 win in Minnesota today. Tony Pollard, a couple of touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott had one. Dallas is now 7-3 on the year. Kirk Cousins threw for 105 yards today and was sacked 7 times. Justin Jefferson only had 3 catches, and Minnesota is now 8-2. That means the Eagles have best record in football again. They came from behind today against Indianapolis in the fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts rushing for a touchdown with $1:20 left to go in the game. And Philly gets the win at Lucas Oil Stadium, 17-16. Philly now 9-1 on the year. Matt Ryan threw for 213, but no touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor had 84 yards and a score. Indy is now 4-6-1. The New York Giants came back down to earth today. The Detroit Lions brought them there. They won in New York, or New Jersey. 31-18 was the final score. Jamal Williams now has 12 rushing touchdowns on the year. 3 of them today as Detroit improves to 4-6 on the season. For the New York Giants, the leading rusher in the game, Saquon Barkley, was held to 15 carries, 22 yards. Daniel Jones, who hadn't thrown an interception since week 3, threw 2 of them as New York falls to 7-3. The New Orleans Saints won today. Andy Dalton threw 3 touchdown passes, and Saints knock off the Rams by a score of 27-20. New Orleans now 4-7, and still involved in that race inside their division right now. The other side, the Rams are probably not involved in a race for anything anymore. They were playing today without Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford ended up leaving this game to go back into the concussion protocol. The Rams, the defending Super Bowl champions, are now sitting at 3-7. Atlanta at 5-6 stays in the race with Tampa Bay, who was on a bye this week. Atlanta 27-24 winners today at home over the Chicago Bears. Younghoe Koo hitting on a game-winning 53-yard field goal with less than 2 minutes left to go in the game. Marcus Mariota threw for a score, ran for a score, and Cordero Patterson returned a kick for a touchdown. Nothing new there, but it's the 9th time he's done it in his career. That's a new NFL record. Atlanta now at 5-6. Chicago did not rush for 200 yards today. Justin Fields did get a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown, but the Bears fall to 3-8. And Washington won on the road today against the Houston Texans. 23-10 was the final. Taylor Heineke, 191 yards, didn't throw for a touchdown on the day today, but he is now 4-1 as the Commanders' starting quarterback. And even though Carson Wentz is getting healthy again, Ron Rivera says he's made up his mind.
We're going to go with Taylor, and we'll work Carson back in and see where Carson is in terms of if he's ready to be the backup, and then we'll go from there.
What were those conversations like?
They were very good.
What was it Taylor has shown you to lead you to this decision?
Winning. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. I mean, that's where we are right now.
Remember what I told you? He's 4-1 as a starting quarterback. The Commanders have won 5 out of their last 6. They are now 6-5. Davis Mills, couple more interceptions today. He did run for a score. Houston sitting at 1-8-1. If you're curious right now, they would have the number 1 overall draft pick and the number 9 overall draft pick come springtime. Our halftime score, Chargers 20, the Chiefs 13. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Hey, honey, we're going to the store. Want to drive?
You're letting me drive your Chevy Equinox?
Sure. Why wouldn't I?
Well, aren't you a little overprotective?
No.
Mom, you hired a pro wrestler to babysit me when I was little.
Ex-pro wrestler.
And you made me wear a helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, and eye goggles when I learned how to ride a bike.
Yeah, I did.
Do I need to remind you what happened when I went to the homecoming dance with my friends?
That's probably best left unsaid. Besides, it was my turn to chaperone.
And you're going to let me drive?
Come on, let's go.
The 2022 Chevy Equinox comes standard with 6 active safety features like automatic emergency braking and forward collision alert, because everyone could use more peace of mind. Chevy Equinox with standard Chevy Safety Assist. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Chevy Safety Assist includes automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, forward collision alert, and telebeam and following distance indicator. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
You know, Lee, when it comes to exterior remodeling, JTR Roofing is the best way.
Oh, you got that right, Chris. We've both had JTR working on our homes, so we've seen the great work they do.
It's incredible work. Plus, I really appreciate how they explain the whole process. I mean, from the estimate to the finished job, I always knew what was going on, and that's not easy.
Organizational skills do come easier to some than others, Chris. For right now, the most important thing is that people remember JTR Roofing for their next exterior project. Online at roofwithjtr.com.
I've always loved bird calling. My grandpa and I, chirp, chirp, chirp. But when I took over the pet store, tweet, tweet, I didn't have the time until I met Justin from Choice Bank. He set me up with cash management processes and employee benefits that saved me money and time. So much time. People call me Phyllis the cuckoo bird woman. They're so funny.
Choice Bank. We're committed to your business, your success, and to you. It's what we mean by people first banking. Go to bankwithchoice.com. Choice Bank is member FDIC.
Vikings Patriots, Thursday night at 7:20 on The Fan.
For Sunday Night Football.
You're listening to the radio home of the Vikings and the NFL. FM 100.3, KFXN Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Fan.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I'm Scott Graham. Progressive Insurance gives you protection on the phone, online, or on the app 24/7 because things happen 24/7. Get a quote at Progressive.com. 7-point lead for the Chargers at the break. Continuing our look back at what happened earlier today in Foxborough, it was a true defensive battle that came down to the final seconds. Jets, Patriots, tied at 3. The Jets punting the football away, and a play that people in New York are going to be talking about for a long time.
The snap, waist high, pressure-free punt, and it's a good one, forcing Jones to backpedal right side at the 16. Stab left, ran it right, down the sideline, to the 40, to the 50, to the left, left to the 45, beats the punter to the 35-30. Marcus Jones down the middle to the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown! No flag! Touchdown! Patriots!
Bob Socci, Scott Zolak, 98.5, the Sports Hub, Patriots Radio Network. Yeah, it was an 84-yard punt return for a touchdown by Marcus Jones. Wins the game for New England. Both the Patriots and the Jets are now 6-4. Buffalo Bills had to move their game this week. They just went to Detroit and won there, beating Cleveland by a score of 31-23. Josh Allen throws for a touchdown today. Not a tremendous amount of offense, but Tyler Bass had 6 field goals for them, and Buffalo now 7-3. Cleveland falls to 3-7. Other defensive battle today in Baltimore. The Ravens get a late score from Lamar Jackson. Beat Carolina by a score of 13-3. Baltimore now 7-3. Carolina falls to 3-8. Cincinnati won on the road in Pittsburgh today. Joe Burrow throws 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Samaje Perine, as they win 37-23. Cincy now 6-4. Pittsburgh is 3-7. And the Raiders got a touchdown pass from Derek Carr to Devontae Adams in overtime, a 35-yarder that ends the ball game. They beat Denver in the extra period, 22-16 the final. Raiders now 3-7. So are the Denver Broncos. This has been the Sunday Night Football Halftime Report on Westwood One, sponsored by Jack Links. Our savory protein friends at Jack Links want to remind you, if you want to wear team-colored face paint while watching the game at home, Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you. Our halftime score, the Chargers 20, the Chiefs 13. When we return, Tom McCarthy and Ross Tucker have a second half kickoff. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
As you age, it's important for you to maintain your independence, but you can't do it all like you once used to, and in this digital world, it's easy to forget things like paying an important bill. That's where Silver Bills can help. Just dial 1-855-589-5265 to learn more about our unique service that will work with you and take over the tedious task of paying your bills. Silver Bills provides a dedicated U.S.-based professional account manager who will receive, scrutinize, store, and make sure bills are paid on time and correctly. You'll always reach a live person, so there's no need to have a computer background or be tech savvy. We're fully insured, recommended by AARP, and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, so you'll have more time for quality visits and less time for stress and worry. Peace of mind is just a phone call away. Call Silver Bills now at 1-855-589-5265 to receive 1 month of service free. That's 1-855-589-5265. Take the worry out of your life and call now. 1-855-589-5265.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
Welcome back to Los Angeles, along with Ross Tucker. I'm Tom McCarthy. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One. Tonight, it's the Chiefs and the Chargers, and the Chargers lead at halftime by a score of 20-13. Both teams are back out on the field getting ready for the second half. Let's check the halftime stats, sponsored by Indeed. You don't need a job platform. You need a hiring partner. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews, all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Herbert is 14 of 19, 172 yards and a touchdown. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes, 11 of 22, 179 yards and a touchdown as well. Eckler, 13 carries for 55 yards. Palmer, 6 catches for 84 yards for the Chargers. Kelsey, meanwhile, he had an explosive first quarter. He had 4 catches, 66 yards overall in the first half and a touchdown. Penalties are a big deal. 4 penalties for 54 yards for the Chiefs. All right, Ross, let's get a key for each team.
Well, let's start with the Chiefs. You know, you don't often say this about them, but they need to do a better job of finishing in the red zone. They had to settle for some field goals uncharacteristically, which is one reason why they're trailing right now. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, I think they're going to be just fine as long as they continue to stay patient. Don't turn the football over. They've had some really nice success running the football with both Eckler and Spiller.
Well, it's time for the start of the second half, sponsored by Prilosec OTC. Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production that can cause heartburn. 1 pill, 24 hours, 0 heartburn with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief. The Chiefs will kick off to begin the second half, so Carter is back deep to receive. He's standing at his goal line for the Chargers to our lefts. And Butker will kick from right to left for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the best record in the AFC, but a loss tonight, and they would pull even with a handful of teams. Let's see what happens in the second half as it's underway, and Carter will take the kickoff at the 1-yard line, far side. Inside the numbers to the 10, out of the 15, cuts to his left to the 20, 25, and a flag comes in as he dives forward to the 28-yard line. It's a return of 27 yards. Joshua Williams makes the special teams tackle, and let's see who the penalty is against.
You just referenced penalties too, Tom, being a factor in this game.
There were 2 fouls by the receiving team on the play. Holding, number 31, this penalty's declined. Holding, number 33, this penalty's enforced half the distance to the goal. First down, Los Angeles.
All right, so Leonard is called for the one that they accept. That's the first penalty for the Chargers tonight.
You know what's funny too, Tom? You know how the first half was awesome? So many cool plays, back and forth. The reality is, I'd be surprised at this point if anything we talk about tomorrow happened in the first half. That's just the nature of these games. It's going to go back and forth. There's going to be more points, and it's the things that happen here in the second half that we'll be talking about tomorrow.
Well, they move the ball back to the 11 on first down. They hand it off to Eckler, and Eckler runs to his right and gets up to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Snead makes the tackle. And by the way, Thornhill is questionable to return for the Chiefs. So that means that safety position is burdened a little bit more for Kansas City.
And Snead got up shaking his head. They're going to make him come off. And this would be a gigantic loss for the Chiefs. After the hit he made on Eckler, Snead started to shake his head. So now they're going to have to take a look at him, and they're already bringing him over there. He's going to have to go into the concussion protocol. He's going to have to get checked in the blue tent.
Yeah, Jalen Watson, the rookie from Washington State, is being brought in to replace him. Obviously, he's had a good rookie season, but again, he's still a rookie. Yeah, Snead he ran into Lindsley, the center.
He made the tackle with his right shoulder, as you're supposed to, but as he was making the tackle, the side of his head hit Corey Lindsley's rear.
Second down and 6. The ball spotted just outside the 15-yard line from the near hash mark. Blitz is coming. Herbert takes the snap, throws a slant to his left to Palmer, who's got it, and then breaks a tackle and gets outside the numbers to the 30-yard line. It was Watson who was in on the coverage. He missed him. It's a gain of 16 yards.
Josh Palmer was just at the top of the screen that I'm looking at here in the booth and just ran a route on Watson, the guy that Snead just got replaced by. Very, very smart. Watson's out there. Go attack him with Palmer, who's already up to 7 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown.
Wow. Well, it's first down to the 30-yard line. Spiller's in the backfield. They fake the handoff to him. Herbert rolls to his right, sets up in the pocket, and then sidearms one to the near side for Carter, and he makes the diving catch right around the 35-yard line. Willie Gay was in on the coverage. It's a gain of 4. And Ross, by the way, Mike Williams is officially out for the Chargers. He left in the first half. It was questionable, but he's listed as officially out.
Well, that's a bummer because they had been waiting to get him back. And that's the thing. It's almost like you don't know when you have some of these guys come off injuries. It's funny, talking with Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers before the game, he mentioned how difficult it is when the injury happens in-game because it makes it harder to account for it.
2 receivers to the left. Spiller's in the backfield. Chiefs are showing blitz. They hand it off to Spiller, running right. Not much there. He is spun down. Gay was one of the first that was there, and so was Joshua Williams. It's a loss of a yard. It'll be third down, and that even caused you to go, ooh.
Well, I could hear it up here. What are those mics called that we have down there? What are they, parab mics?
Parabolic mics.
Yeah, I call them parab for short. Are you allowed to do that? I don't even know.
Yeah, you can do that.
But that was a helmet-to-helmet collision and a vicious one between Joshua Williams and Spiller that sets up another critical third down here.
Sony Michel checks in at the backfield, so no Eckler. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. It's third down and 7, and this play is blown dead. Thankfully for Herbert, because he was being pursued by Frank Clark.
Yeah, but this shouldn't happen.
Full start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
So that's Trey Pipkins, the right tackle, who jumped a little early, and I think it's because he's anticipating the count. It doesn't look to... Oh, they are going silent count. They are going silent count at home.
They tried to jump it.
That is a big time, because he's blocking Chris Jones, but that's a big-time disadvantage to have to go silent count at home.
So third down and 12, 3 receivers to the left. Herbert drops back to pass. Pressure's coming. He's thrown down. He's sacked at the 19 by Mike Dana. And the Chargers are going the wrong way, and they'll be forced to punt. It's a loss of 10.
How do they know which way we're going? Hey, listen, Mike Dana's having a day. They ran a stunt there. It's called a TE. Dana's in at the tackle. He goes up the field. Frank Clark loops around. So the T goes up the field. The E loops around. Filer, the left guard, did not do a good enough job there.
And back deep to receive is Sky Moore for the Chiefs. He's inside the 35-yard line. Backpedals to the 30. He's on the near side, and now he goes to the middle and then to the far hash. He gained maybe a yard, maybe 2, but he ran about 25 yards. And we've got a break of the action with 11-12 to play in the third quarter. It's the Chargers 20, the Chiefs 13. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more, like our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data, all on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for just $49.99 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Ends 12/5/2022. Restrictions apply. Eco bill and auto pay required. New 50 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Maybe it's hair in the sink, or hair on your pillow in the morning, or hair in the shower. All signs your hairline is headed in the wrong direction. When that happened to me, I went to Hair Restoration Institute. I battled back, restored my hairline, and made an investment in my future. Find out why Hair Restoration Institute was named Minnesota's best hair restoration clinic by the Star Tribune. Go to myhairlossclinic.com or call 612-588-HAIR. You can't spell hair without HRI. Go to myhairlossclinic.com or call 612-588-HAIR.
Football season means tailgating, touchdowns, and cheering for your favorite team. In Minnesota, there are nearly 100 local credit unions with over 300 branches for you to team up with to take your money further. Credit unions stand for community and trust. They keep any profits local and provide members better savings rates. Your teammates own a credit union, and that means you're all working for the same goals. More transparency, more trust will give you more personal financial wins. Visit MinnesotaCreditUnions.org to find your local credit union to take your money further.
Hey, football fans, it's time to treat your family with a mouth-watering Carboni's Pizza, wings, or a hot hoagie for the game. Carboni's Pizza was voted Best Pizza Twin Cities and has been serving pizza the whole family loves since 1954. Carboni's only uses the freshest ingredients and secret recipes to ensure your family is happy every time. The legacy of two hopeful young Italians is still present in every visit, every exchange, and in every bite. Over 30 locations to choose from. Find yours at Carbonis.com.
Vikings Patriots, Thursday night at 7:20 on The Fan.
Bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. Well, the Chiefs take over for the first time offensively in the second half. And by the way, they're without Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He has been ruled officially out with an ankle injury. So Pacheco in the backfield. Mahomes out of the gun. Sky Moore in motion. They hand it off to Pacheco, who sprints to his right, gets to the edge. He's across the 40, the 45, and then he's shoved out of bounds right near midfield by Tranquil. It's a gain of 17 yards. By the way, scouts love Pacheco as there's an injured Charger on the field. They loved Pacheco in college, but he had no offensive line. So that's why he wasn't really sought after by a lot of teams.
He has some legitimate juice, and he is explosive. I am really impressed with Pacheco.
By the way, it's Kenny Murray who's out, or is down on the field right now with the injury for the Chargers. The outside linebacker. He's on a knee out near the 28-yard line on the far side. And a quick injury update for the Chiefs. Snead, who went out with the apparent head injury, is on the sidelines. He's not back in the locker room. So we'll see if he comes back out on the next defensive possession. We know that Thornhill has been ruled out for the Chiefs. And they're dealing with Murray now on the far side. This year on Thanksgiving Day, the NFL introduces the annual John Madden Thanksgiving celebration, commemorating John Madden and his many contributions to the NFL and the game of football. Watch the Bills-Lions on CBS, then the Giants-Cowboys on Fox. We'll also be there in Dallas. And finally, the Patriots-Vikings on NBC. You can listen to all three games right here on Westwood One, or stream the games live on your mobile phone with NFL Plus.
That is an incredible triple header, by the way.
It is.
I mean, Bills-Lions is going to be a great game. Giants-Cowboys, two teams having really good seasons in the NFC East, and then Patriots-Vikings in the nightcap. They are massaging the back of Kenneth Murray's neck. What happened is it was friendly fire, and he got hit in the face mask when he wasn't expecting it. So what happens is you didn't bow your neck to be ready for it, so your head goes back a little bit like that. It can stun your neck a little bit.
Well, he's walking off now, which is a good sign.
It's pretty incredible, by the way, Tom, just to watch Brandon Staley on the sideline here. Do you realize in 2016 he was the defensive coordinator of John Carroll, Division III?
It is pretty amazing.
I mean, that's 6 years ago. He was a Division III defensive coordinator. Yep. Now he's one of 32 NFL head coaches. I mean, it's easier to be a senator.
His team has a 7-point lead, 20-13 on first down. Mahomes hands it off to Pacheco, who runs to his right. and is able to get close to another first down before Tranquil takes him down by the ankles. The explosion again, it's a gain of 9 yards.
What's my philosophy in situations like this, Tom? I want to know how well you know me.
Run the ball again.
Yes. Thank you, Tom. Just keep running it until they prove they can stop it. Now, I will say this. 2nd and half a yard. Boy, this would be a nice play to take a shot, the way they're running the ball.
That's Pacheco in the backfield again. They got a bunch of tight ends, one on the left, two on the right. They hand it off to Pacheco, who runs to his right. He sheds one tackle outside the numbers, and he gets to the 32-yard line. Morgan Fox makes the tackle, but it's another first down, and Pacheco is starting to churn now running the football.
And it's a good time for some of the people that might have just gotten in their car, or you just started listening. Remember, the Chargers are down a bunch of D tackles, including Christian Covington, Otito Obonya. They put both those guys on IR this week, and I got that pronunciation right,
that was
so
really
I'm happy.
Good. Pacheco again runs left, cuts back right, and even though he's lifted out of the air by the ankles by Bryce Callahan, he's still able to get 4 yards.
Now Pacheco has to come out here. I don't know if he got dinged up there or it's just, you know, having several carries in a row. Once a breather from McKinnon, who they prefer to throw the ball to McKinnon when he's in.
Well, it's 2nd down and 6. Pacheco has his helmet off. He's getting some water on the sidelines. McKinnon is next to Mahomes in the backfield. Bunch formation to the right. Now a man in motion. 2 receivers to the left. Mahomes taps his foot again. The ball spotted at the 28-yard line. He spins around. It might be a free play. He's thrown in the middle of the field, and it's deflected. Incomplete.
Van Noy was offsides. Yeah. Kyle Van Noy, the veteran, tried to jump the count, and he went offsides.
He was lined up on the right side.
Defense number 8. This is a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
Van Noy is not only good because he's a veteran, but he also has veteran presence in the postseason. Chargers now have lifted all of their penalties in the second half. They had none in the first half, and they have 4 here in the second half.
You know what's interesting? Just watching it again on the monitor here in the booth, Creed Humphrey kind of double clutched that snap a little bit, and Van Noy went on the movement. That's interesting.
His head is turned. He's looking at the center as we speak. On 2nd down and 2, they hand it off to McKinnon running to his left, and McKinnon bounces to the 20, down to the 19. It's a gain of 4. He took a hefty hit. Joseph Day was the one who knocked him to the ground.
Well, Joseph Day had him low, but Derwin James came in.
That's true.
And just came in and delivered. What a vicious shot. I mean, Derwin James is a truly unique player. There just aren't guys like him that can cover like a corner and hit like a linebacker.
8.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 7-point lead for the Chargers. Chiefs inside Chargers territory from the 19. They hand it up to McKinnon again. McKinnon over the block of his left tackle. And he gets inside the 15, close to the 12. A gain of 7. Troy Reeder, who just checked in, made the tackle for the Chargers.
Chiefs offensive line, who has stayed totally healthy this year. It's the same starting 5. They are starting to take over on this drive. An excellent double team at the point of attack by the left guard and left tackle, Tooney and Brown, and then Trey Smith, the right guard, pulled around and got a pancake.
Well, they also have Fortson and Gray in the game, along with Kelsey. Fortson and Gray, the tight ends, are to the left. They hand the ball off again to McKinnon, running to his left, didn't get much. He's close to the first down. It's a gain of maybe 2. And it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard. And Pacheco's going to check back into the ballgame for the Chiefs. And they're going to add an offensive lineman as well.
That's Nick Allegretti will be the extra offensive lineman as they go to the super heavy set. The tough thing about being the extra offensive lineman is you're used to being able to hear the snap, especially if you're Allegretti.
And Burton, the fullback, is in offset I formation. In motion is Gray, the tight end. They hand it off to Pacheco, runs to his left. Nothing doing. He's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down. It's a loss of 2 on the play, and the surge came from every angle, led by Morgan Fox.
Penetration destroys running plays. Whether it's a gap scheme or a zone scheme, you get penetration in the backfield, you've got problems, and it was Morgan Fox who read Trey Smith's stance. He could tell the right guard was pulling. That makes it for an almost impossible block for the right tackle, Wiley, to cut him off.
And now Butker is on for the field goal attempt, 30 yards. It's a 2013 lead Chargers. Snap is good. The hold is down. The kick is on its way, and it's good. And it's a 4-point game. And with that field goal, Barbasol will make another donation to Kurt and Brenda Warner's Treasure House, a living community for adults with disabilities. Barbasol, the trusted choice for a close, comfortable shave. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol. The score, the Chargers 20 and the Chiefs 16. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Football is a game of inches, and while we've advanced the ball down the field, our efforts to achieve equality are still far from the goal. But we are in it for the long haul. For years, P&G has used its voice to shine a light on inequalities and bias, and through their Take On Race platform, actionable change is being made. P&G is dedicated to investing in the future of boys and men of color, supporting the success of Black women entrepreneurs, funding efforts that will improve the child care industry in the U.S., and much more. So we invite you to join P&G and take action to ensure the home field advantage is everyone's advantage. Go to pg.com/takeonrace to learn more. That's pg.com/takeonrace and engage in a quest for a more equitable world for everyone.
New Jack Link's Barbecue Pork Tender Bites. A mouth-watering, sweet and savory bite-sized barbecue snack. Because if barbecue wants to be a flavor and a patio appliance, Jack Link's is good with it. Available at a Hy-Vee near you.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Time to check the schedule of games coming up on Westwood One, sponsored by Hulu Plus Live TV. Tomorrow night, it's Arizona against San Francisco and Mexico City. Thanksgiving, it's Buffalo at Detroit. The Giants are in Dallas, and New England's at Minnesota. And next Sunday night, Green Bay is in Philadelphia. Did you know that Hulu Plus Live TV is over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games? It also now comes with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Live TV plan is required. Restrictions do apply. Access content from each service separately. Learn more at Hulu.com. And some of our friends from Hulu are here tonight watching the game with us up here in our broadcast booth, guys. And we appreciate everything from you, all your support over the years. Thank you. Great relationship with Hulu and the National Football League. All right, here we go. Butker's going to kick it off from right to left. Carter is back deep to receive. He stands at his goal line, just walking back and forth to our left. Butker's kickoff in this 2016 game is not going to be returned. It goes end over end past Hockley. And now Herbert back on offensively with a 4-point lead and 6:22 to play here in the third quarter. Anything different you want to see from Justin Herbert and the Chargers?
I mean, you're never safe, right, when you're playing against the Chiefs, but I know the Chargers are dying to try to get a little bit of breathing room and get up 2 scores. They have had success running the football, though.
By the way, L'Jarius Sneed is back in for the Chiefs. That's a big move for them. Spiller's in the backfield for the Chargers. In motion is Carter. They fake the pitch. Herbert throws on the run, incomplete. He just had to get rid of it because pressure was coming from Sneed.
Yeah, but he had Palmer open in the flat. I don't know what happened with Herbert right there. It was a good job by Sneed to read the play action bootleg, right? So he's thinking, I'm not going to chase this run down from behind, so I'm going to get up the field and get in his face. I don't think Herbert wanted to take the chance to throw it to Palmer, but Palmer was wide open if Herbert would have given it just a split second more.
Second down and 10. 2 receivers right, 2 left, tight to the line. Spiller in the backfield. Herbert drops back to pass. Pressure's coming. He throws. Pass is complete to Allen, and Allen turns inside the numbers up to the 34-yard line. Gay was pressuring. It's a gain of 9 yards.
So good by Justin Herbert. They had a free rusher come at him. They had linebackers in both of the A-gaps. Sneed came free, and Herbert just got rid of it in time to Allen, set up third and short. The A-gaps, by the way, is the gap between the center and the guard on both sides of the center.
And by the way, Eckler is back in. He likes to run through those A-gaps. They hand it off to him. He breaks away to his right and gets up close to the 35-yard line. He was stopped by Justin Reed. He may have gotten one.
He's short.
Yeah, he's short.
Well, I don't understand why these teams are pulling linemen so much on these short yardage plays. When I was in New England, Tom, never did they pull a lineman on short yardage or goal line. Because when you pull a lineman, you get penetration.
Because you
and
open
on
up
that
gaps.
play,